everyone. Happy Wednesday to you all. I'm Jess. Welcome to Welcome Wednesdays. Today, I am so fortunate to be joined by one of the co-designers of Chocolate Factory, Matthew Dunstan. Hey, Matthew. Good evening to you.
Evening, Jess. How you going?
I am okay. How are you?
I'm pretty well. I'm pretty well. Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
cozy in my loft. It's nice.
Yes, you do look cozy. You got a nice sweater on, ready for the season. I take it.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm Australian, so the whole winter thing is not really. I'm not built for it, but I'm adapting. So
Okay. And let's say hello to everyone in the chat. I've got Book of Nerds is here. Hello. Game Freak Geek Girl is here. Hello, Monique. And Gus or Not, of course, saying that they love the game boxes being in the same placement. Nice coordination. Oh, I
we
didn't even
planned a lot
realize
of things,
that.
but not that. I think.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of nice in just off to the side here. And hello to Tan. Yeah, so today, friends, we are going to be playing a two-player scenario of Chocolate Factory from Alley Cat Games, designed by Matthew Dunstan as well as Brett J. Gilbert. And this is a game that I acquired a couple years ago at Gen Con. And I actually used it as one of the go-to games for when I would be playing in my in-person game nights. So I really like the engine building mechanics of it. I really love chocolate. And so it kind of was like this happy marriage between the two. Um, and thankfully, Matthew was kind enough to join me in a playthrough, so I'm definitely looking forward to having you play on stream, and I hope you have enjoyment here, Matthew. But for those that aren't familiar with who you are, why don't you give a little spiel about you and some of your designs and how you have come to be a game designer?
Sure, yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Matthew, and thank you. I'll put my thanks back to you, Jess. Thank you for inviting me on the stream. You've always actually been a really great supporter of things I've been doing, and when I was streaming, you're also a really great supporter of that. So, I am more than happy to return the favor. So, thank you for having me on. Yeah, so I'm originally from Australia, although I currently live in Prague in the Czech Republic, and in between there, I lived in the UK for about 10 years. Uh, by training, I'm a materials chemist, and right now I still am. Although from next year I'm going to be full time in game design. So that is a bit of a. It's been a slow move, but I'm finally getting there. And yeah, so I've been designing games for about 10 years now, I guess. And my first one was published in 2013. I was probably quite lucky, or no, I was lucky. I got a game published with Days of Wonder called Relic Runners, which was a really nice way to start in the industry. And since then, I've designed many games. Usually, I co-design games like Chocolate Factory, which is with Brett. I've worked with Brett a lot, but I've designed with quite a few other people over the time. And I've made games like Chocolate Factory, Elysium is well known, Monumental, which is recent Fun Forge. We were also talking about Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time, which is another Fun Forge game that I've made. And more recently, I've been sort of getting into more narrative games. There's the adventure game series from Cosmos, that's with Phil Walker Harding, and the Echoes game series, which is a new kind of audio mystery game for Ravensburger, co-designed with Dave Neal. So yeah, I'm keeping busy, but yeah, that's kind of me, I guess.
That's awesome. And so, friends, that if you want to check out Matthew's titles and things too, I will pop the Board Game Geek link to his page for his designer page, and you can see all of those. And I was chatting with Matthew off stream a bit, and I was mentioning how we have several of your titles, actually your collaborations with Brett in our gaming library. So we included with Chocolate Factory, we also have Professor Evil, the Citadel of Time. Some of you that are my viewers have watched me do a playthrough of that game. Super fun. Also, some of the adventure game series. We've only played 3 because I believe there's only 3 titles that are available here in the States.
I think the fourth one is imminent. I do
Okay.
think it'll be before Christmas.
Okay.
Uh,
Awesome.
and it is a, I don't know. Yeah, we're not necessarily talking about it exactly, but it's one of these things that we were still finding our feet. So I think the fourth one I would say is we've found our feet. So
Okay.
even if the third one was a bit had a few rough bits, I didn't see you play through it or anything, but I know there are some rough things. But the fourth one we hope will be a
I
return
did
to
not
form.
play that one because of spoilers, but I did play them like in real life. So I played the Dungeon, Monochrome Inc., and the Volcanic Island. So those are the three that I had available to me here.
Yeah, that's all the ones that are. Yeah. But look,
Yeah.
the fourth one is good. So hopefully you'll be able to
The
pick
first
it
one
up.
is good. Not to toot my own horn, but the
No, I mean, well, it's funny with these things though when you start a new like a new form of something.
right.
And I think it maybe with the Echoes things, it's the same where it's really hasn't quite been done before. I think with Exit people, I've played quite a few Exits, and you see how that has kind of evolved over time
Yes.
as you kind of work out what you're doing and what the audience actually wants, because
Yeah.
that's not always what's in your head. Or so yeah, it's an interesting experience. It's nice when you have a game that does well enough that you can find that, because often
Yeah.
with games, you only get one shot and either it hits or not. So.
Right. I know Tantaralus has mentioned he's played a few more titles. He's in Germany. So I think there are some more available in Europe and the UK area.
Yeah, they just released the sixth one in German at Spiel actually. So
Okay.
it's more about the translation that just takes a long time because
Right.
there's just so much
Right.
text. And they want to do
That's
the voice
true.
acting as
So
well.
for folks that aren't familiar with the adventure games, it's actually you're reading through basically like a manual, and so you're going through putting together numbers and things too, and that gives you a code that you have to read through, different parts. So you're flipping pages, and a lot of content comes from the actual like manual. So I could see the translation being a huge part and necessary for it. Hi to everyone that had just lurking in. Jay Foolsguard is currently cooking.
Oh, hey, Jay. Nice.
Let us know what you're cooking, because I'm always curious.
Just
And
make me
hello
hungry,
to,
though.
yeah. Hello to Arena and anyone else that was kind of sneaking through here. Materials chemist, said Raina. She says you must have a giant brain. Well, being a game designer, I guess kind of it comes with that territory, maybe.
Well, maybe. Who knows? I don't. You've played my games. I'm not going to say that. It needs a brain. I think. No. Anyway, I mean, I think there's probably not a coincidence that quite a few game designers come from sort of technical fields, but it's not that it's the only thing or that like required. I think it just lends itself to game design. But to be honest, actually, it's nice when you play games for people from a different I mean, like Brett, actually, well, I say he's from a different background, but actually now I remember he in fact did do natural sciences as a university degree, but worked in publishing for a long time, book publishing, and he is great with editorial kind of things, and he has a great kind of editing brain. I think that's a very different skill set. So actually, that's why I love working with him, amongst other things. So it's always good to have people from different backgrounds and different skill sets making games. So.
That is really awesome, and I also think too it adds to the creativity and also the development too, because it highlights different parts of your brain, with the either the art side or the creative side or the more like productive, logical thinking side. So I think having different occupations and job descriptions under your belt help you in more ways than one. Like for myself, I originally am an audio engineer, and so I have a degree in audio engineering, and I did radio for several years. And so being a presence online and doing things on Twitch like streaming was a sort of a somewhat easier transition for me to do, because I could be bold and project and like friendly and open, and it actually allows me to exude like who I am as a person, just in more of a visual form. So my enjoyment of board games hopefully comes across here on stream.
I'm sure it does. I'm glad I got a new microphone before this, because my audio might not have met your standards otherwise. So
no, it's okay. It's okay. I don't critique people when they're on stream, so that's okay when it comes to their equipment. So anyway, so that's a little intro to Matthew. And so today, friends, we are going to be playing through a 2-player scenario of Chocolate Factory. If you are not familiar with this game, highly recommend sticking around and playing through it. Afterwards, when I do the, since it's Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Can't Stop Express tournament. Our monthly tournament will still be continuing on. So for those that are waiting to get their hands on some dice later on, stick around for the end of the stream, towards the latter half of the stream. We will be playing that, and whoever gets the highest score today, friends, because this is the last Wednesday, I believe is the last Wednesday in October.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah, whoever gets the highest score today will actually win a bag of swag from myself and the Chicken Game crew. So stay tuned for that. But now let's go down to the table and explain how to play Chocolate Factory. So, Jace Woolsguard, I see you're doing some leftovers. There's nothing wrong with leftovers, friend. I know that is something that is so convenient, and times when you're like myself, if I'm streaming or if I'm like playing a game with folks and I'm like, I can't think about dinner, or what am I going to eat? Or occasionally I forget to eat because I'm just so excited playing games with people. Having leftovers handy is a really nice treat. So, enjoy your leftovers, my friend.
You don't want to get too hungry playing this game, otherwise you might start eating the components.
I know. I mean, look at these bits, friends. We've got wooden candy pieces, and no, these are not edible. I did not back that part of the Kickstarter. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think there was an actual like Kickstarter portion for real life chocolate. I don't think it would transfer very well. Anyway,
no. It's an idea for the future. Certainly.
Include your own box of chocolates with a certain level of a Kickstarter pledge. I like that. Or add it to a stretch goal or something like that. So, yeah. All right, friends. So here, what we are doing is we are running a chocolate factory, and we are going to be playing over a course of several days of a week. So we're going to be playing a total of 6 days. So Monday through Saturday is our work week. Every day of the week corresponds into a few steps that we're going to be taking. So each day will correspond with recruiting an employee that helps us fulfill certain orders. And in our department stores, where there are 5 different department stores, I will show you all on the other camera in just a second. As well as recruiting factory parts to build into our factory that will help us run our engine and create chocolates at a more sustainable pace. As we go through each of the different days, we will be recruiting those 2 things, and we do that in the form of a snake draft. So for this 2-player game, we will have separate what they're called packets of information of cards of employees, as well as factory parts that you all, that myself and Matthew will be able to recruit and add to our factories. Then we will run our day, and our day consists of 3 shifts, hence the 3 slider tiles here. And it doesn't come across very well here on screen, friends, but this is actually a slidable board. So we're going to have our little tiles slide back and forth on this conveyor belt, which I thought was super awesome when I first got this game. So we are going to be pushing these tiles through, running them through our factories, different factory parts, converting our chocolates to what we would like, and then pushing them out the side. There's also this chute here that you can push them out here instead of waiting till the end. But every day, every part of a shift will consist of loading in a cocoa bean onto a tile, pushing it through, operating our factory parts with wherever the tiles are aligned, and then the cleanup phase, which would be removing of coal, because some of the factory parts require coal for operating them. And each day we will get a certain amount of coal to utilize for our factory. So we will do the cleanup phase, and that will end a shift. So we will do that 3 times and complete our day. Once we have chocolates that we have pushed out from our factory, they will go here into our storage area, and then we can fulfill orders. Now I'll go over to the order board. You can kind of see what things look like. We have our department stores here on the bottom. 5 different department stores. One, if you nice little Easter egg, friends, is called Dunstan and Gilbert's. Huh. That's
That
very.
wasn't our idea. That's what Ellie wanted to do, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
did it.
did Matthew and Brett decide like?
We're not so egomaniac, that we would do that.
Okay, good. Okay, good. He is a humble game designer, friends. So we have our 5 department stores, and each employee that we recruit has a certain department store that they want to fulfill the orders for that day. So as we go through and recruiting employees, we only have one employee with their benefits and their abilities for that day, and then they get discarded. And so a new day will come up with a new employee and new recruitment and things of that nature. So we have our 5 department store orders that we can be able to fulfill depending on the employee that we recruit, as well as we have these corner shop orders that can be completed at any time. We each start with 3 corner shop orders, one from a small shop, a medium shop, and a large shop. And I already have my 3, Matthew, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 here, and you can, while I'm still explaining the rules, you can dig through your pile.
Yep, I will do that.
Okay, so first for your small.
It's 3 yellows, right?
Okay.
Or caramel, I should say. I think it's
3 caramels. This is your medium, which is a level
more
1,
caramel.
1 and 2.
Yep, perfect.
And then the large, you've got
Okay, yeah.
the chunks and bars, and then the boxes of chocolate.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So, friends, I'm going to have Matthew's board off to the side too. I will mainly focus on my board so you can see how the engine is run. But in terms of recruiting the employees and the factory parts and things too, I will have him tell me which ones he's going to add to his player board so you all can see what his engine looks like and how efficient he is in making chocolate.
Well, how badly I'm doing.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So every day we are going to be receiving a certain amount of coal. So on Monday we will receive 5 coal to operate into our factory, and then each day we'll progressively get 1 more coal. Now in our storage room, I will go back to the other table view. Here in our storage area, we are allowed to save any number of coal we want to from day to day. So there is no limit in terms of how much coal we can have. However, there is a limit to how many pieces of chocolate we can keep in our storage room from day to day that aren't used to fulfill orders. Because once you fulfill an order, friends, the chocolates that were used will go back into the general supply, and then we will restart our new day with our new shifts and things like that. So we can only roll over 2 chocolates. And at any time, if we have chocolates in our storage room, we can exchange them for 1 coal. It does not matter what type of chocolate it is, we can exchange it for a coal. And that could be handy coming in for future turns if we wanted to be able to run a factory part and we don't have enough coal available. So let me explain some of the different pieces and things that are going through into our factories. So anything that you see, friends, here with a tan banner is a factory part, which gives you a certain amount of things and upgrades, possible conversions of chocolate as you go through your factory. We each start with 3 basic factory parts here. So every player board is similar. It will have those 3 parts. This one is first changing a cocoa bean into, it says cocoa, but I call them nuggets, Matthew. I don't know if you mind.
Call them as you wish.
Cocoa nuggets. So it'll convert the beans into nuggets. And so that's what this one does, but it costs 1 coal to utilize. So anytime you see a factory part with this furnace in the upper left-hand corner, that is a coal requirement needed to operate that part. So we have the bean into a nug. This one is a conversion of 1 step of any type of chocolate. And so what does that mean? Well, on this board here, we have our little conversion rates. So the conversion rates go from beans to nuggets, and these are bars or chunks. So think of it as like a Hershey bar and a Kit Kat, the bars and chunks kind of pieces. They have the wrapped chocolates, which are red and yellow, and then our boxed chocolates there. So, yeah. Oh gosh, cocoa nugget cereal, part of this balanced breakfast. Yeah, there you go. And hello to one who reads and Dead Last again. I saw you sneaking in. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. All right, so yeah, so that's the conversion. So that's what this one does. And then finally we have our chute, which allows you for free, since there's no furnace cost, to move chocolates from this location on your conveyor belt into your storage room. Now, as you're going through each of the shifts, there might be a little bit of confusion of like, well, Jess, you said there's only 2 chocolates that can stay in your storage room. That only happens when we're going from a new day, when we're ending our current day and we're going to a new day. If you have more than 2 chocolates here in your storage room before you fulfill any orders, that is a-okay, because that is actually a good thing. So we will take our chocolates here from our storage room as we move them through our factory, fulfill our orders, and then as we're cleaning up and getting ready for the new day, we have to make sure we only have 2 remaining. So it's not a problem like as you're going through your shifts and you're collecting chocolates, as long as you have enough to distribute for fulfilling of orders and have only 2 remaining, that is okay. Otherwise, if you have more than 2, you can always convert them into coal, and coal will be able to, you can keep as much as you want to in your storage room. Another thing to note, as you're recruiting factory parts, you can also cover over a current part. But once it is placed into your factory, so technically we have 8 slots here in our factory for factory parts. Once we place something here, it cannot be moved. So once something is covered over, then it cannot be moved out to another location. Sometimes I like to keep the chute open if I'm trying to go through a lot of chocolate and I need to kind of just keep my engine working. Sometimes I like to utilize the chute as much as possible and cover it as a last resort. But it really depends on what factory parts get dealt out for us. So, and then we have our first player token, which will rotate for each day. And usually in a multiplayer game, the first player token will rotate in a clockwise direction. But since it's only myself and Matthew today, we will be able to just bounce back and forth between who will be first player. So today, right now, I'll start on Monday as first player, and then Matthew will be on Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So I believe that is it. At the end of Saturday, any chocolate that we have in our storage room as well as on our conveyor belt will be able to be utilized to fulfill orders from your department stores and also from corner shops. At the end of the game, we will score based on the following criteria. I will go through I know chocolate into coal. It's kind of an odd thing, but you know,
don't ask too many questions. What's in that wrapper? You know,
what's in the wrapper? Yeah. So we will score points based on the following things: the number of corner shop orders. Whoever has the majority of corner shop orders, regardless of size, they will receive 12 points. Every person in terms of the department stores will score based on the following criteria. Whoever is furthest along on the track will receive 16 points. However, second and third place must be at least halfway rounded up to where the first place marker is. So for example, I am the yellow player. Let's say I'm here on the 3, and Matthew was only able to be on the 1. He would not score the second place points because he is not halfway between 1 and 3. He would actually need to be on the 2 because half of 3 is 1.5, rounded up would be 2. So in order for him to score these 8 points, or £8, I should say, because we're scoring in pounds. So apologies if I use the terms pounds and points because they are synonymous in this game. for Matthew, in order to score the 8 pounds, he would need to make sure he was at least on the 2 space. So that is an interesting mechanic, and I do have to say this was quite the game changer for us when we played this last night, Matthew. My husband and I were playing this, and there were a couple times that some of the department stores were not distributed in terms of whoever was behind was not halfway through, so they didn't receive any points for that department store. So that is quite the interesting mechanic. So
it keeps it interesting even at lower player counts, which is the intention, hopefully. So
yeah,
good that it worked out.
yeah. So that's what we're just scoring with the department stores. If you have a distribution, if you are able to fulfill orders at a certain number of department stores, you also receive bonus points. So if you were able to deliver at 3 different department stores, you would receive 6. For 4 different, you would receive 12. And if you were able to deliver to all 5 department stores throughout the course of the game, you would receive an additional 24. Okay, and then you will receive 1 pound or 1 point per every chocolate and coal in your storage room. It's just a straight 1-for-1 conversion. And whoever has the highest point score wins. These 50, I always want to say 50-cent pieces. But these 50-point pieces we will each receive as we're going around the track. So it can add to it. So we can get more than 50 points for this game. I believe that is it. Matthew, did I miss anything or anything you would like to clarify?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think, and you could definitely do as many stages of the corner shops in one go. I think. Yeah, we'll be scoring those as we go. Effectively, that's
yes.
Just in case that wasn't clear.
Yes. So on some of I know on the corner shops there are different stages, and what I will show what Matthew was referring to. So here I've got my 3 corner shops. So on first, this small corner shop here, friends, only has 1 stage. So in order to complete this order, I would just need a yellow and a boxed chocolate. However, on the large, there are 3 stages here. So the first level is what's at the bottom. So this would need to have bars. This one, level 2, would need 2 bars, and this one, level 3, would need 3 bars. But yes, you are correct, Matthew. You can fulfill multiple stages of a corner shop order as you have the chocolate available to you. Now,
and then you just score the points next to it on the card.
Correct. And for those that get completed, let's say Matthew was able to complete his 3 corner shops. What would happen is for each one that is completed, he would put it face down next to his player board. Then we would draw 3 new cards, 1 from each size of corner shop. He would look at which one he would want to add. It does not have to be of the same size. It can be a larger one or a smaller one. And then the other 2 cards that he does not choose will get placed at the bottom of their corresponding decks. So I also like that as well too, Matthew, in terms of having it be, if you're just burning through small corner shop orders, you don't necessarily have to only refer to a small corner shop. You can complete a small corner shop and then draft a large one if you wanted to.
Yeah. It's not as good to have to take a large one near the end or something, when you don't have
right.
chance.
Right. Although I don't believe there's any penalty, right, for not completing.
No.
Okay.
It's just you don't get the points for there's that bonus for completing them completely, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. So there are going to be employees that give certain benefits throughout the day that we're playing, because remember, friends, we're only going to utilize an employee and their abilities for that day. So for the 3 shifts and things of that nature, and then as we're doing our cleanup phase and fulfilling our orders, those employees get discarded. So it will be essential to have to look at what their abilities are. And occasionally I forget sometimes, Matthew, and I'm like, oh wait, I could actually move a piece of chocolate over here. I could actually do this and that and whatnot. And so It
Take
is,
backs are perfectly fine.
yeah. Like, hold on, pause, wait, you know. And hello to me, Hammer Time. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, so that is pretty much it. So how this is going to work, friends, is I'm going to have the 5. We recruit one employee from each of the department stores, as well as I have this additional Kickstarter. So I have actually 6 cards that I'm going to shuffle and then place into what we call packets. And packets are going to be determined. Yeah. Rather on the nose. Rather on the nose. Okay. And then I'm going to do a face up here to create our 2 packets. And then I will do the same here with our factory parts. However, I'm only going to draft 5 factory parts.
Yeah, normally there'd be an equal number of it because we're playing with this little expansion.
Yeah. I had to make sure I had to make sure that Matthew also had these cards in his copy as well. All right, so then I will do the same thing here, but we will do so I will show everyone what these are first off so you can kind of get an idea before I make my decision. But I will be choosing first either a packet of employees to draft from or a packet of factory parts. Whatever one I choose on my second draft, I will draw the opposite. So in theory, both myself and Matthew will recruit 1 employee and 1 factory part for our factories. All right, so first let's look at this. We've got our supervisor. Each time I load the conveyor belt, I can load 2 beans onto a tile instead of 1, which is really nice because each shift only has 1 bean. So this will allow me to utilize more production if we can. And they are connected to the House of Luxury department store. So the name down here on the bottom is the order of the department store that I can fulfill this day if I choose them. We have the director, which does double the number of spaces I move to fulfill the order at Dunstan and Gilbert's. So on the department store track, if I was able to fulfill this successfully, I would double the amount of spaces I would move. Normally on the department store tracks, it would be for every completed order would move 1 space. So this one doubles that benefit. And then finally, we have our decorator, which allows you to upgrade a chocolate anywhere onto your conveyor belt. And that also includes a chocolate bean. So you can also do the beans into the nuggets. So that's this packet here. I will do that. And then seeing here, this expert miner allows you to take 4 coal. So you would have more ability to operate your factory parts, and they are connected to Salter's Emporium. This one is the salesman, and earn an additional $1 for each stage of a corner shop order that you fulfill this round, which is really nice. They're connected to the Palace Boutique. And then this is one of the Kickstarter benefits cards. The owner, double the money you earn from 1 stage of a corner shop that you fulfill today. So that's really nice too. All right, and then our factory parts. We have this one, which for 2 coal allows you to convert a bar chocolate into 2 wrapped chocolates. The second one allows you to either convert a bean into a chunk chocolate or a nugget into 2 chunks of chocolate, and that costs 2 coal. Or I could duplicate any chocolate onto this factory part. So if I had 1 nugget on one of the tiles in my factory, I can actually convert it into 2 nuggets there. All right, and then the second packet we have is 1 red wrapped chocolate into a box chocolate, or 1 yellow chocolate into 2 boxes of chocolate. And then this one is 1 nugget into a boxed chocolate. So first, I always like to recruit my employees because I feel like, hi Slivers, a quick hi. I always like to recruit employees into my factory first because I know that they have multiple benefits, not only in your factory for that day, but also in completing different orders for the department stores. So I actually liked this one of the supervisor. So I'm going to take this packet here. So Matthew, you will get the packet that includes the owner, the expert miner, and the salesman.
Yep.
All right. And then you get to choose.
Yeah, I'm going to choose the one with the 3.
Okay. So these 3 factory parts.
And I already tell you, I'll be choosing the one on the left, the one that turns into the caramels. Yep,
okay.
That one.
Cool. And whereabouts, Matthew, would you like to place it?
I'll place it in the bottom row, second from the left.
Okay.
We should say that actually, when you play the game, you would draft both packets, and then you would make all your choices about which one you're going to take and where you're going to put it.
Yes.
So you kind of have all your information, but we're doing it sort of slightly differently.
Okay, so you're going to place it here, Matthew?
No, one to the left. Sorry, second from the left.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And then, which employee were you going to draft?
I will take the expert miner.
Okay. So he's going to start off with a few more coal, and the Salter's Emporium is where he can utilize his sales abilities. All right, so I'm going to take the supervisor benefit for this round. And then for the factory parts, I like this conversion here, the wrapped chocolates abilities. So this one, I feel like I'm going to have down here because it will kind of help as things go around. So now that we've got all of our recruitments, we will get our coal. So Matthew and myself will each have 5 coal to start with.
Although I have 4 more because of my miner.
Plus 4, that's right. So he has a total of 9 coal, and he does not have to use them all on this day. He can use them as needed.
We also didn't say that you could only use each part once per shift.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So let me show the
which we'll see now, I guess.
The reference card here. So we've got our preparation. So we've got our coal to create our display of packets, which we have done. We recruit our employees and factory parts in turn order. Then we run our factories. So we can do this running our 3 shifts by loading, pushing, and operating. Loading in a bean onto the conveyor tiles, pushing it into the channel, and then operating whatever factory parts using a coal and only once per part. And then we clear off the coal, returning from the factory parts that are used, returning the coal pieces to the supply. And we do that 3 times for our 3 shifts. And then we fulfill our orders in turn order or simultaneously. I think in this first round, Matthew, I think we should do in turn order so people can see the process. And then we do our corner shops and our department stores, and then we do our cleanup phase, which is again keeping the 2 pieces of chocolate that we did not use in our storage room and any number of coal we would like to. Then we can replace any quarter shop orders with new ones and move the day marker and the start player. So I think that is all. So we've got our 3 beans here for our 3 tiles. So I can decide now if I want to place 2 beans instead of 1. I think I will for the second shift. So I will do.
No. Sorry. I think it's actually every time. It's each time you light the
Oh.
conveyor.
Oh, okay. So
This card's
that's.
even better than you think.
Oh, wow. So there we go. So I will have 2 beans every shift.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah,
They might not all. That's a more powerful. There may have been another one which is only once because they get more powerful depending on which store they're attached to. So,
right. Okay. And so the House of Luxury. So I am looking here, friends, to make boxed chocolate if I want to complete for the House of Luxury. Matthew has the Salter's Emporium, so he's looking to make some caramels if possible. All right, so let's 1, 2, 3. Let's do our factories. I wish I had.
Chocolate.
I like that term. Let's chocolate. All right, so we'll slide this in here. And now I could spend 1 to convert one of these beans into a nug. So I will spend 1 of my coal to turn one of these into a nug. And remember, friends, it's only 1. And so what they also suggest is doing this here to cover up, okay, I've utilized this factory part, placing the coal on that factory part for that shift so you can see. And there's nothing else here. There's no other chocolates that I can convert. So that shift is over for me. Now I will remove this because I have used it. It will go back into the supply. Now pushing my second shift through here. And now I've got some options. I can, again, do this conversion. So I will do that, placing 1 here, conversion 1 of the beans into a nug. I will do one of the nugs here for this one. So I will exchange this 3 and get 3 singles here. So I'll do the 3 singles instead. Place 1 here to upgrade this nug into a bar. And then for my final go round here, this is not very efficient, I have noticed now, but that's okay. It's just round 1. Clearing off this coal that I utilized. Then we've got, again, with the upgrades, so with my last 2 coal, I know this is kind of not efficient here. I'm going to turn this into a nug. And then this one will be into a nug as well. Okay, so all 3 of my shifts are done. So I have 3 out here. And I can take the chocolate that I have currently and utilize it here. But I think I'm going to wait. I'm actually not going to use the chute today. I'm going to wait and see. Or you know what? No, I take that back. I will use the chute. I will use the chute.
Already. Gosh.
I will use the chute already. But I will convert this bean because I don't want it. I convert this bean into a coal to save for later. That chute is free, friends. It does not cost any coal to burn. But the remaining chocolates here, since they are not in the exit space and they are not in alignment with the chute, they actually stay on the conveyor belt. So I place these other 2 coal back into the supply. And all right, Matthew, were you able to complete some chocolates?
Yes, I was able to make some caramel, and I'm going to turn 1 in to go 1 up on Salter's Emporium.
Ah, very nice. Okay. So
but
Matthew is blue.
I have nothing in my storage and no coal left as well.
Okay, you were very efficient. And
I have a lot of caramel sitting on my production line.
Okay, there we go. All right, and for myself, friends, with my one bar of chocolate, I will turn that in here to move one space up on and actually, friends, I should have done this at the beginning. I apologize. You're actually supposed to put your little player markers on each of your corner shops to indicate and allow you to mark what level you are on. So I will turn in this bar of chocolate to move up one stage on the large corner shop, and that gives me 1 pound. So I will move a 1 pound onto
First blood.
The drooling first blood. Yes. All right, and that is our day. So unfortunately, I did not complete anything from the House of Luxury. They needed boxed chocolate. So sorry, supervisor. I only utilized you for your cocoa beans. And Matthew's employee goes away. The factory parts stay where they are, friends, because remember, you can always cover them over or get with new parts, but you cannot shift them around. So they're currently in their locations right now. Okay, we are going to move to next day, Tuesday. So each of us will receive 6 coal. That is included with the coal that we have any left over. So I have 1 left over, so I will just add 6 to it.
None, so I'm at 6.
You were very efficient in burning your coal, Matthew. Very efficient.
Yes. Well, we're 100 years ago. They weren't so worried about burning a lot of coal.
Right. Is that the timeline that was supposed to be set for a chocolate factory? Was like early 1900s?
I mean, it's in the sort of when Cadbury was started in the north of England. Well, I'm not sure if it's actually Cadbury's, but a lot of these chocolate factories in the north of England. Yeah, the early 20th century.
That's cool. I did not know that. That's really cool. Okay, so Matthew is now going to be the first player. So I will again make the new packets here with our department store employees as well as the Kickstarter benefit employees. And friends, if any of you have questions in the chat, you have the joy of not only asking me for assistance, but you could also ask Matthew about it too.
I mean, that could be more dangerous though, because designers are notorious for getting rules of their own games, but I'll do my best.
Okay. And I will read those in just a moment, Matthew. I'll make sure to get our factory parts
no
here.
Problem.
So, Matthew, do you have a favorite type of chocolate, or do you even like chocolate, I should say?
No, I do like chocolate. That's a really good question. No, well, I mean, I guess everything's changed for me. I've lived in about 4 different countries, so I don't think I've settled on. There is one from Australia that I really like. They're called caramellos, or caramel koalas. They're basically koalas with caramel inside them.
Okay.
Which I don't think you can get anywhere other than Australia, but they're made by Cadbury.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, caramels are really, really good. I enjoy a dark chocolate of any kind. And recently I've gotten into like sea salt with caramel.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
Good choice. Well, it's that salted caramel kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the balance of salty and sweet is something I enjoy. Jay Foolsguard has a question. Did you ever have a different theme for this game?
Definitely. I mean, the original game was effectively themeless. I think we said, I don't think we said it on stream or off stream. It was effectively called by another publisher who was considering to publish it, Cube Burner 3000, with all the thematic ties that entails. So, no, it was. We always had the conveyor belt mechanism. That was always the kind of core of the game, and the upgrading the different things. But they only became chocolates under Alley Cat Games' guidance, and it was a great choice. I mean, it was quite an inspired choice, actually. I think because it does actually make some amount of sense, and so
nice. Well. Good question. Yeah, keep them coming, friends. Keep them coming. Okay, so Matthew, here's your First
Oh,
packet,
sorry.
we have the director from Salters,
Mm-hmm.
the packer from Dunstan and Gilbert's,
Mm-hmm.
and the salesman from Palace Boutique.
I never want to trust that salesman. It just doesn't look like I want to buy whatever's in the box.
He's
And
not.
then he's trying to sell
He's
me.
not. What? He's not enticing to you.
He looks like he's just opened up his trench coat or something, and would you like some of these chocolates that are sort of hanging, like.
Yeah. Okay, and then the second packet we have the director from Fresh Fancies,
Mm-hmm.
the supervisor from House of Luxury,
Yep.
and the prodigy. So in these Kickstarter ones, I did not mention these, friends, but in the Kickstarter cards here, they do not have a specific department store assignment to them because they actually give you a different kind of benefit. Like the owner that we saw in the first round, they were able to allow you to double your amount of points for a corner shop. So they are specific in terms of different things that they give you. So
Yeah, they're more powerful than the other employers, so that you sort of give up the ability to go to a department store, but instead you get a really, really great ability.
yeah. Okay. And then the next, I'll just show you all the packets first, Matthew, and then you can tell me which one you want to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this first factory part, we've got bars into caramels or chunks into 2 caramels.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got beans into nuggets or 2 beans into 1 bar and 1 chunk.
Yep.
And then the last one is 1 bean into bars or 1 nugget into 2 bars.
Perfect.
All right, that's the first packet. And then the second packet is 1 bean into either chunks or bars. And then you can... remind me again what this symbol is with the arrows.
I think that's a move. You get 1 movement, 1 free move. It's also one of the. I think it's a special. Yeah, move any 1 chocolate.
Okay.
You can move on the tile immediately above or below that part to another conveyor tile.
Okay. So that's what that factory part does. Or we've got the bars. And what is the red wrapped candy supposed to be?
With nuts.
With nuts. Okay. So we've got the chunks into with nuts or the bar chocolate into 2.
There must be a way that they don't have to always call them with. I'm just trying to look at what they or nuts. They just say caramel yellow or nuts red. So there you go.
Okay. All right. So those are our factory parts.
Okay. So now I've got to work out what I'm doing. I also, like you, think that it's quite important to work out. Sorry, we should have thinking music or something.
Take your time. It's what is it from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Da 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 da.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna take the packet with. Oh, that's really good though. Oh, it's tricky. Actually, yeah, no, I'll take the employees with the salesman, packer, and director.
Oh, okay.
And I will take the packer.
All right, so Matthew's doing this one, so he's going to be looking for fulfilling Dunstan and Gilbert's this time around. All right, now I get 2, so automatically I will get this packet because that's all that's remaining. So I will think about that, but I need to get some chocolate orders, and Charity Board Gamer, I will answer you in just a second. Or if Matthew wants to answer.
The blue ones are just meant to be boxes of many chocolates. In England they have, it's called quality streets, or I mean I guess it's like favorites, or I don't know what you have in the States, box of varied chocolates. whereas the yellow and red are like individually wrapped chocolates.
Okay.
Hence the upgrading. You could put the yellow and reds into a blue box. At least that's the thought.
Yeah. Let's see. Paradise.
Yeah, I guess I haven't. It would be. Yeah, I haven't watched that movie for a really long time.
Oh, it's such a delight. Gene Wilder, such a delight he was.
But I don't know if it will just. Yeah, but it's one of those things that from something I watched. What was it? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I'm not sure. Do you know this film?
Yes.
And I watched that for the first time. It's sort of funny because my fiance is Czech, so we have completely different cultural sort of touchstones as children. And so she watched it for the first time when she was 25 or something. We rewatched it.
Okay.
And that film is really weird, like
yes.
really actually kind of disturbing.
Yes.
Level of a weird. And also there was a complete song which I had never. It was like the love song or something. And when I watched it, I was like, what is this song? I've never heard it before. It's right in the middle of the film. Obviously, as a child, I was just completely uninterested
right.
with this, like they're walking around a garden talking about that they love each other. So it just had not impacted on my, 8-year-old mind at all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I chose the factory parts of the packet with the the three factory parts. So you will get the 2 factory parts.
Perfect. Okay.
And so from these 2, Matthew, which one would you like to add to your factory?
That's a good question. You know what? What I'll try. I'll try the cocoa bean into the
swap
one. Swap one. Yeah.
Okay.
And
then let's see. Why don't we do this, Matthew? Why don't we number each spot? So this will be 1 through 4, and this will be 5 through 8.
Yeah, I'll put it on 5 then. Perfect.
Okay. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty, and then for me, friends, I am going to use blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I am going to take the director as my employee. So what they do is double the number of spaces I fulfill orders at Fresh Fancies today. And then the factory part I would like to use is I'm going to take this one, which converts either a bean into a nug or 2 beans into some other deliciousness. So I'm actually going to cover over this one here. Okay, now we have our coal, Matthew. Get your cocoa beans.
I'm ready to go.
And ready to go. Let's chocolate.
Some cogs turning.
Okay, so for friends, so you want to see, Matthew has the Dunstan and Gilberts he's trying to go for. So he's over here on this side, friends. And then for myself, I'm on Fresh Fancy. So I'm looking to create the chunks. And thank you, Smolecule, for that host. And thanks, everybody, for just hanging out today. I hope you all are enjoying your Wednesday as we do this thing called Chocolate Factory. Did you ever watch I Love Lucy, Matthew?
No, sorry.
Oh gosh, there was a really funny sketch with Lucy and her friend Ethel in a chocolate factory, and they could not keep up with the moving chocolate, so they would actually start eating it. So please do not start eating the chocolate, friends. These are not pieces. And oh my goodness, we have a raid from Gen Con TV. Hello, everyone. Paula and Matthew, thanks so much for the raid.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm joined by the wonderful Matthew Dunstan, co-designer of Chocolate Factory, and we are in the midst of playing a current game of Chocolate Factory, so thank you all for joining. What were you all doing on your stream today? Is it more Halloween-themed excitement or some other fun stuff? I thought this was kind of an appropriate game to play, not only because we love chocolate, but here in the States, Halloween is just around the corner. So chocolate is in full demand. If you are any age, I think, not just children. I feel like chocolate is for any age.
I think so. I should hope when if touch wood I get 99. I hope I still enjoy some chocolate
Yeah.
from time to time.
From time to time. Exactly right. Okay, so I pushed in here. I've got, oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Okay. I am going to, I can't really do anything with these nuggets. I need to make some bars of chocolate, some actual chunks. So I am going to use this one here to upgrade this nugget into some chunks. I mean, look at that. These are just so cool. And then for this one, I am also going to utilize this one into a nugget. Da, 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 da. These nuggets aren't doing anything for me, so I'm actually going to just move them out of my factory for free. So that's my first shift. Utilize these 2 factory parts, turn them into the supply. Giving you all... Yeah, exactly right, Tan. Give it the tryptophan. Is there a lot of is there tryptophan in chocolate? I knew that there is in like some like meat products there are.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Okay, let's see. Then I've got upgrader here. This one is going into another. There. This one I will just basically, I know this is so boring, friends, to watch because I've got basically the same engine building. I'm just making some nuggets, These I'm going to use for free in my chute. I'm going to turn this cocoa bean though into a coal because I need some fuel for my factory pieces. All right.
I'm sure the new visitors are going to be a bit worried that we're turning coal into chocolate, but
yeah,
or chocolate into coal rather.
It's all about the game. It's all about the game.
You got to suspend your disbelief. That's
exactly right. Exactly right. That's what they do in the movies, right, Matthew?
Yeah.
Certain movies, do you just suspend your disbelief, or is it time travel? Right. That's the key.
So what do we travel back in time when the chocolate was originally coal or something, or vice versa?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I mean, if we're in Willy Wonka's elevator, anything could happen. So.
Did that? I don't think did it ever? That would have been cool if the elevator could go back in time. I mean, I guess then it's a TARDIS, isn't it? So.
Yes, it would be. But hey, who's to say Willy Wonka was not a doctor?
That is true. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, similarly, similarly strange, I guess, as many of the doctors have been.
Yeah. Tan says it's a TARDIS only if it's bigger on the inside. All right. Okay, so I did my 3 shifts. I left some chocolate on the production line, but that's okay. I've got some stuff here. So, Matthew, what did you complete, my friend?
I have got a bunch of I'm just in the caramel business, I said my favorite chocolate was caramel, and I've got 5 caramel ready to go in my warehouse, hoping to use it towards.
All right. So, do you have some orders to fulfill?
I am going to fulfill 1 stage of Dunstan and Gilbert's with 2 caramels.
Okie doke. Oh, you are blue. That's right.
Yeah,
okay.
Good thing. We need the viewers to watch out here. I can't manipulate the pieces. I can only, control from a distance. So, gotta watch this. No funny business over here. And I am going to do the first stage of my medium order, which requires 1 caramel, and that will give me £2.
All right.
And then I will store my 2 caramels in their assigned spaces. Well, that's it. I'm done.
That is quite suspicious, Gus. Matthew selling at the Dunstan and Gilbert's.
Well, I mean, we're not. Look, it sounds like we're related, but actually, distant cousin at best.
Right, if it's 100 years ago. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we weren't even. I mean, my family had already shipped out. Well, a while ago. Actually, I don't know. Part of my family could trace themselves back to the First Fleet, but I don't know which when my bit of family came over. We're all
Monique,
criminals anyway.
we are only in day 2, my friend. So your break time is just in time here. We can have you help out with the running of our production lines, or if you have any questions for Matthew, he is politely offered to answer any questions that you all are
I was
offering.
going to say we. I mean, you could also join in the controlling of Jess because it's not
Yes.
entirely right. Checking that she's not slipping a few extra chocolates along
Wait.
the
So
line as
I
it
could
goes.
just turn a nugget into a box chocolate just for free, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's my
I mean,
stream.
they're about the same amount of wood as the piece. I mean, that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine, friends. It's totally fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do, friends, is because of my Fresh Fancies director here, I am going to turn in two of these nice chunks of chocolate on this track, which will give me 4
Whoa.
on there for that department store. That will leave me with 2 chocolate nuggets here, which I don't know if I need nuggets actually. So I will turn them in if you don't mind, Matthew. I will turn them
Perfectly
in
fine. Perfectly fine.
into coal to give me some more fuel. So that is day 2, friends. So we will discard our employees. We will keep our factory parts. We will move on to the next day, which we will get 7 coal. 7 coal here into our storage area.
I think somebody asked me something about a production job. I'm just trying to look at the chat properly. Oh no, someone else. Yes, Tantosaurus asked how tasty was the Echoes cake I got in Essen. So I'm not sure, Jess, if
Ooh,
you saw Ravensburger. They invited us to the press event and gave us a cake with the game box on top of it, all
nice.
edible, which was definitely a first for me. It was funny. It seems to be their thing because they gave cakes to Inca and Marcus Brand. They had a new game out as well with Ravensburger. They had a big cake for another. So yeah, lots of cakes. And I had to take it back with me to Prague. It was very nice. It's a bit like a wedding cake, I guess. This kind of like very thick. I think they call it like royal icing.
Okay.
But no, very very tasty. But I had to give some away because I can't eat that much cake by myself. So it was a nice gift for some family members.
Okay, that's awesome.
But definitely a strange. I got that, and I got some branded. I also had a game called Bubble Stories come out at Essen, and
Yeah.
there was some branded bubble like I think you blow bubbles with, which they put the game box in it. So it's all the random little bits and pieces you pick up as a designer.
That's fun. That is a lot of fun. Gus also asked if you've ever worked in any sort of candy job, Matthew, production, sales, or taste testing.
Well, I've worked in a slightly adjacent field. I worked as a food scientist for 1 year. We didn't work on chocolate, although it's interesting. It sounds almost Willy Wonka-esque, but they did have an instrument that could effectively separate out smells of a particular compound. So
Wow.
it was used a bit more with liquid. And you could essentially separate out the different chemical compounds and smell them one at a time to sort of work out the sort of different components. And they also had
Okay.
a taste version of that, where you could separate out different chemical components of something and then taste them one by one,
Okay.
which was yeah, quite strange. We're also taught not to. I mean, folks at home, don't taste or smell things if you're in a laboratory setting unless you definitely know what you're doing. Not recommended. This is not the 1970s where you could just eat whatever you wanted in the chemistry lab and it was perfectly fine. Don't do that. But if you're in a food scientist lab, it's perfectly fine.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Follow-up question asked Tan. Did you have any Lady Grey with your cake?
Oh yeah, so this is the other thing. I'm not sure if you're Jess, are you a coffee or a tea person?
I love tea. I love tea.
Okay, great. So do you know Lady Grey tea, for example?
I have not had that, no.
So you probably know Earl Grey, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's sort of a twist on that. Instead of bergamot, they add orange to it.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
and well, actually, Tantalus. This is actually the Tantalus is now. So, sorry, this is long story short. I've recently moved from England to the to Czech Republic. We found a box of tea that I had moved, that's lain for 2 years. We started drinking it. We're like, this is delicious. And I thought it was Lady Grey tea, and you can't get that in Prague. So I put out a call to everyone coming to Spiel. Could you please, someone from the UK, bring me some Lady Grey? And very, very kindly, so I did. Scott from Minerva Games did. Thank you very much, Scott. Got back to Prague and drank some of the tea and realized that I had mixed it up and asked for the wrong type of tea, and we were drinking something else.
Oh
But
no.
no, it was still very nice. It was but it was just a funny that we'd gotten all this trouble, and I just like mixed up the things in my head. Anyway, but it was So we enjoy lots of different types of tea, but
Yeah.
I've had to adjust my I think Czech Republic's not as much of a tea drinking country generally, so
Oh, okay.
have to get what I can.
Yeah. I enjoy a good they call it English breakfast tea.
Mm-hmm.
But I am odd, and I do not add like cream or sugar to it. I just straight black tea.
Wow. Okay. Good.
I've also enjoyed an Irish breakfast tea, which is a little slightly milder. But yes, I am a tea drinker through and through.
Well, I also break the rules because for Earl Grey, for example, you're supposed to only put lemon in it.
Oh.
No dairy at all. If you're a proper gentleman or lady.
Okay.
But I have to drink all. Well, I don't have to, but I prefer all my black teas with milk.
Okay.
So I already break the rules. My timing came. I mean, it was explained to me in the most preposterous way possible. I went to Cambridge University, and sitting in one of these Harry Potter-esque rooms with a fellow person with the most ridiculous kind of Oxfordian accent.
Yeah.
Telling me how I should take my tea, and that I should never that you should never cut off the corner piece of cheese. It's called the nose of the cheese, and that's very, very rude. So don't do that. I was being playing various
etiquette things. Oh gosh.
Yes, but it's not very useful. But yeah, anyway. So.
Oh, did you ever find out what that 2-year-old box of tea was?
We did. It was chai. I mean, you think I should know that? I mean, I should have. But when you don't know it, you're like, oh, this tastes really good. And of course, I knew what chai tasted like because I had drunk some of the box before.
Oh.
So in retrospect, I'm just like, of course it was chai. But I was like, oh, this Lady Grey, I've never had it before.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Whatever they've added to this black tea. But anyway, so.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Yeah, Jay Foolsguard. What? No milk? Yes, I know. I am odd. I am odd. So when I do my European travel, I know. Just give me a side eye. It's fine. I will take it.
You'd be very welcome in Turkey. In Turkey, there is no milk in tea, but they do add about like 4 cubes of sugar
to
like a mini cup. They have these. I'm not sure if you've ever seen them. They have a specific kind of glass, a small glass cup.
Yes. Yes.
Like a double shot almost. It's not very big, but into that cup they will place 4 sugar cubes.
My goodness.
And you get it everywhere. I mean, it's quite nice. You're on the ferry and people just walking around selling tea. So you might like Turkey, but
that is awesome. That's on my so places I want to visit now. I'll have to just add Turkey to that because it's the UK again because I went, but it was brief because I landed in Heathrow and had to transfer to Dublin. So actually exploring more of England proper. And then Germany, because Tan has kindly told me there are many things in German like chocolate and mustard that we can't get here in the States.
You like mustard as well?
Yeah.
I make my own mustard, actually.
What? Okay,
yes.
do tell, Matthew. Is it spicy?
Well, it's not very good.
Is it spicy?
Well, but do you know this about when you make mustard, that actually the spiciness is inversely proportional to the temperature when you make the mustard?
No.
So the colder you make a mustard, the hotter it will be in taste.
Interesting.
I think it's because, I don't exactly know, but I think it's when you stew it in hot hot water, I think it leaches more of the like the not the flavor, but like the heat comes out of it before it gets locked into the mustard. I think.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
but it's a really interesting thing because you have to kind of experiment with the temperature and yeah. So I tried a honey beer mustard. I'm a novice still, but but I was trying. So it's very easy. You should try it sometime. Just really, it's
Okay.
surprisingly easy, and you could put anything in mustard. It's perfect.
So would you get like whole grain, like?
Yeah, you get mustard seeds.
Okay.
And there's like three different types. There's what white, yellow, and brown mustard
Yeah,
seeds, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
And you stew them in apple vinegar,
Okay.
sort of overnight usually.
Okay.
And there might be some water, and you can add whatever you like to that liquid effectively. So if
Okay.
you're doing beer, you can add some beer or some honey. I know people have made some interesting like basil, or there's
Wow.
look on YouTube. There are some people making amazing. Like mustard's one of these like ancient condiments. So over the
Yeah.
sort of 2000, if you ever actually another place to add to your visits is Bengal in India,
Okay.
West Bengal in particular, I think, because they have huge mustard fields. So
Wow.
you wouldn't think Indian food and mustard, but actually in Bengal they have amazing like fish mustard curries, for example.
Okay.
Um, which are just delicious, and you can imagine like a mustard sauce and with spice and things like that.
Interesting.
But anyway, so it's really open to experimentation, but it's a very like the chemist in me likes it because you have to kind of. I wouldn't say my batches were very good because it's a lot also because it ages in the jar. Like it actually changes flavor over time, even if you seal it.
Yeah.
It will generally get milder over time, so you have to kind of eat it at the right point.
Okay.
And
Wow.
yeah, so
Very fascinating. You
but
heard
yes,
it here first, friends. Matthew Dunstan is also a mustard maker.
you could specifically get in Germany. I know they have these mustards in tubes, almost like toothpaste.
Okay.
That is like the really strong stuff. And yeah, you can't get that. I've never found it anywhere else. So
No. Oh goodness, that's awesome. Fun things. I enjoy food talk. I wish if I wasn't doing a gaming stream, I would probably do a food stream.
Well, actually, I'm hoping one of the games I am working on is all about flavor. Actually, so
really?
Yeah.
Top
so
secret.
when I finally finish it, yeah. Anyway, back to the game. Back
secrets.
to chocolate. A different.
Back to chocolate, a different type of thing. Okay, so the packets that we have available, Matthew, are the Technician from Dunstan and Gilbert's.
Mm-hmm.
The Owner again.
From oh yes, the other. Yep, perfect.
And the Corner Shop Agent from Salters.
Okay.
And then the next packet we have is the Engineer from House of Luxury.
Yep.
The Clerk from Fresh Fancies.
Mm-hmm.
And the Operator from Palace Boutique.
Perfect.
And then the factory parts, the packet of 3 have the caramel into box and the with nuts into 2 box.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is an upgrade of any type and then a movement on your conveyor belt. Is that what we were saying the arrows were?
Yeah, it moves that a chocolate where that is to somewhere else on the conveyor belt.
Okay. And then the last part is the nug into either 2 chunks or 2 bars.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second packet is a bean into bars or nuts or chunks, or 2 beans into a caramel and with nuts, the wrapped chocolates. And then this one is chunks into 2 wrapped chocolates.
Okay.
So I am first player. So what am I going to choose? I am going to take the packet with the operator from the Palace Boutique here, Matthew. So this packet will be for you here, friend, the Technician, the Owner, and the Corner Shop Agent. Mm-hmm. And so you have the option of which factory part packet you would like.
Oh gosh, that is a bit of a choice. You know what? I'm going to take the owner.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, from the employers.
All
and
right.
then...
So you're doing this one. Ooh, double your money. All right.
And I will also... I'll take the one with the 3 parts.
Okay. So Matthew's going to do this one. Which part are you going to add?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll do flexibility. So I'll take the one that gives the 1 upgrade and a movement, and I'll put it in position 7.
Okay.
Sounds like we're speaking in code or something almost. But
yeah, it is. Position 7 for my factory part. Well, see, that's probably where it was the cube movement 3000, right?
Yes.
Very mechanical sounding. So here's Matthew's current factory where he's running things. So, Matthew, I decided to recruit this engineer, which allows me to do 4 shifts today.
Oh, very nice.
So I get an additional conveyor tile for myself today. And I am going to, oh gosh, I need to start looking at what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? I need some... I will do this up here. So I will take the chunks into 2 wrapped chocolates. I am covering my chute, everyone. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dead Last again, for the hydrate. I am finishing off my tea.
Which tea? Is this your Irish breakfast? Is it your...
That one was actually an English breakfast.
Oh, very good, very good.
English breakfast tea. I don't know. So you have lived in the UK for a time, Matthew. Do they just call it breakfast tea?
No, they still call it that. No, Twinings, there is an English breakfast. Yeah.
Okay, I actually have Twinings here. This is a different brand, but I actually have Twinings, and apparently that's like specialty tea.
Well, so my boss in the UK, who is British, she lived in the US for 20 years.
Okay.
And she says that US produced tea is just a lot weaker. So what might be considered specialty is just a little bit stronger, I guess.
Okay.
But the other thing you'd also, I mean, it's like English breakfast is different to that. You have like Yorkshire tea is probably the other big, like black normal tea, if that makes sense, without like flavoring.
Right.
And that has a slightly different taste.
Okay.
Which has a sort of, and the only other kind of, so yeah, I don't know if Twinings is particularly special. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
But with Earl Grey, for example, it's very it depends very much the brand. I mean, we could go for hours, but if you, I watched a very interesting documentary about how Earl Grey tea gets made, and
okay.
So, for example, do you know what the bergamot actually is?
It's an oil. It's an oil from a flower.
From a fruit, actually.
Oh, really?
Like a bergamot is like an ancient lemon.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's the oil's incredibly expensive because you have to like grind, I don't know, however many kilograms of fruit to get this, little bit of oil. But the thing is, for Earl Grey, the more expensive the Earl Grey is, the higher the percentage of the sort of additive is actual bergamot oil.
Right.
Because the lower grades, they'll start diluting it with other citrus oils.
Okay.
Which are cheaper. So that's why as you get higher, you'll get the closer to the true bergamot taste. And even the way of getting an oil into tea is quite interesting.
And what I've heard is that lots of it originates in Italy. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I think that's the worldwide producer. But yeah, and actually in Italy you can get bergamot flavored anything basically. It's like just a normal flavoring. So you can get, like bergamot flavored chocolate or bergamot flavored things. It's but even pasta, I think, I'm not sure. So it's just very much, it's sort of funny. Outside of that, I've never seen a bergamot. I've never bought anything. So yeah,
that is quite interesting. Yeah, Tan says it's a citrus fruit. So Matthew, you're gonna have to just come back on my stream, and we're just gonna have to be doodling some coloring sheets and talking about food. This is so fascinating.
I've had a lot of fun. I mean, even in Cambridge, I had the job of setting the menus for a dinner once a week at the college I was at. So I could make up whatever I want, and the kitchen would make it. effectively.
Oh, that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
so great. Okay, so we are on, we are gonna get through this game, friends. I promise. We will try to wrap this up.
we're on theme roughly, I guess.
Yeah, we are. It's food talk. It's
Loosely.
fine. It's totally fine. No, I'm having a wonderful time. I hope everyone is as well. So let's chocolate, Matthew.
Let's chocolate. Chug.
So I've got 4 conveyor belts here, friends. So I am going to be utilizing all of this here.
And we had seven chocolate, right? Just so I have that. 7 coal, rather. 7 coal.
7 coal for today. Yes. I'm sorry if I did not say that earlier.
No, that's
okay. So I am doing this here for 2. So I'm converting this bar, friends, into 2 wrapped because going to do this here. Oh, I'm going to do 1 and 1 actually because that's nice. Then, because it's in the same slide track, I can also activate this one here if I wanted to, friends, which I am going to do. So I'm going to utilize this one here, and I am going to turn in this red chocolate piece into a box chocolate. Then, do I want to do anything on this side with my... I still have quite a lot of coal here. So, but I still have a lot of day left to achieve things. So I will do this here. Turning that into some butters. And we'll do that here. And yeah, I will do that as my first shift. Okay, so this goes away. This is spent out of my factory parts. Going in here. And now I've got, I also am looking up here. I need some more chunks and caramels as well. So this one will have to be upgraded into, I'm going to, no, you know what? I'm going to move those along. But I will do this one here for a nug. Oh, hello to Benita and Dead Last again. I know you've been hanging out here, but hello, Benita K.
I had the pleasure of meeting Benita and Ishpil just recently. Hi, nice to see you via the internet.
Yeah, via the internet. Hello online. How are you, B? How is your day going? Matthew and I are talking food and running a chocolate factory. So our Wednesday is great, I would say. Wednesday is going
But
great.
we can't eat the produce though. That's the only thing.
I know. That's such a bummer. All right. So
one for me, one for the factory line, one for me.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, so do that. You recently got this game. Oh my gosh, Benita. And I don't know if you knew this, Matthew, but Board Game Arena just posted this in beta.
Yeah, Cesar was just telling me. So I think premium users now can sort of beta test it. I think that's how it works, but then it will eventually move into normal use. And I think it's going to be free. So look out for that. Or if you're a premium user, come on and find all the bugs for us, please.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not too many.
Yes. So I'm a premium user too, so I'll make sure I will give it a run through because I just found out about it over the weekend, Matthew, that it was on BGA. So
well, I only learned about 30 minutes before this stream, so you're
okay.
better on the news than I am. We're sometimes designers are the last to know about everything, I think. So.
Oh gosh. So who's the strongly worded letter that I need to like send the bugs to?
No, well, yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
not sure.
kidding.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
just kidding. I doubt. I mean, for everything that's in beta in any form of a digital game, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my third shift. I'm gonna
Yes.
go through.
Benita, you've missed a lot of non-chocolate related talk about tea and mustard. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure that maybe that was a plus that you missed it. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
that's why we're only on day. What are we? Day 3.
We're on day 3. Yes, but this has been such a delight, though, Matthew. You are
Yes,
a
no,
very
exactly,
pleasant guest. So
No,
thank you.
you're an excellent host yourself, so that facilitates it.
Okay. Oh, good grief. Oh, I did not. Regerts. I have regerts now.
Oh no! Oh
All
no!
the regerts. It's okay. It's
Benita
fine.
likes spicy mustard. Apparently, I'm with you on the spicy mustard. Now I just want to eat some mustard. You know, but
You're like, bye, Jess. See you later.
You can't eat mustard by itself. It's like chocolate you can have by itself, but then you have to find something to go with mustard. And if you're increasingly vegetarian like myself, it's harder and harder to kind of like justify mustard in your diet, you know, like,
but
so
I mean, I'm sure adding it to like vegetables and stuff is probably really tasty, right?
Yeah, and I mean it's great in salad dressings and things like that. But you know, I think I'll probably like my favorite thing, like marinades and things with mustard, it's slowly being phased out. But I could try it on some. I've never really marinated vegetables in proper marinades. I'm not sure if that's a thing.
See, something to try. Okay, I am done. I have no idea what I was doing, basically, but
excellent. I was just trying to distract you the whole time.
My plan has worked, he says. Okay, so this other tile goes away, even though I have my engineer, because it was just for today to do the extra shift. So thank you. Matthew, what did you complete, my friend?
Oh, all sorts of things. Also, I've got a bunch of chocolate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do first stage of my large contract.
Okay.
Handing in the necessary chocolate. So that's £8. Then I could do the second stage of that same contract, and with my owner, I'm going to double the money from it. So
that'll be 30.
15. That'll be 30.
Oh goodness me!
It's not too bad, not too shabby, as they say. And then I am going to complete my small order with 3 remaining caramels. So that'll be £8.
Okay.
And then I can get the new ones after you've had your.
Okay. After I had my go, that was a great turn. Oh, nicely
It worked out
done.
pretty well. It doesn't always work out.
Nicely done. Okay. Well, I did something, friends. I did something. So now I've got the choice. Do I do that for 7 or do I move up on the House of Luxury track? Because I have either of those things could be a good thing for me. So, I will hold on to that. So I will actually complete one step with my 1 box of chocolate. 1 step here on the House of Luxury, thanks to that engineer. And I will keep in my storage room the 2 remaining to hopefully get some stuff from the other recruits that I have. So now, Matthew, I will draw 3 corner shops, 1 from each, and then you will let me know which one you will like. So we've got the small one here, which is 2 caramel.
I think it's going to be hard to beat the 2 caramel one. Yes, I've got the 2 caramel one. Yep.
This one, the medium, is all chunks.
All chunks, all day. Like 1 and then 2? No, 2 and then 3. Okay. Why did we make so many of these? Anyway, yes, I've got it. Yep, okay. And the large one?
And the large one is bars, caramels, then boxes. 3 on each.
Yep, I'll take that small one.
Okay, going for the caramel game.
Well, I've already set up with caramel, so that's
all right. So then, friends, with the 2 that Matthew did not choose, they will go on the bottom of their corresponding decks. There we go. And now we are in Thursday. We're coming to the home stretch here, Matthew.
So we're over hump day or whatever they call it, right?
Yes, exactly right. So we will each get 8 coal to start with for our day. All right, 3, 6. And remember, friends, I am still going to be playing Can't Stop Express after we bid Matthew adieu after this game. So stick around for that. Now I'm going to be making our packets. And Matthew is the first player for this round. So here we go.
Thursday. Well, it's almost Thursday here. We're not that far away from it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun emote, Tan. Who's is that from your channel? That's really nice. It's a nice little emote. I'm in the process of possibly getting some new emotes that include my cat, Matthew, because she is essentially my co-host here on the channel. Everybody
Could have
loves
had a 3-player
cats.
game.
Yeah, we should have, but I think she would take all the boxes of chocolate for herself.
Yeah.
So they are quite enticing for her little paws to enjoy. So she is, I believe she's probably outside enjoying the rain right now. She is in a covered patio, so not like she's like, we did not leave her out in the elements, friends.
She's not drowning. She's not.
She is not drowning. She is in a covered space. Okay, so first in this first packet, Matthew, we have the helpers, the Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the corner shop agent from Salters.
Yep.
And then the director from Palace Boutique.
Okay.
All right, and the next packet, we've got the mechanic from Fresh Fancies.
Mm-hmm.
The engineer from House of Luxury.
Yep.
And the technician for Dunstan and Gilbert's.
Perfect.
All right, first packet of 3. We have got 4 upgrades. Is that on one piece of chocolate upgraded to 4 steps?
You can split them up how you want. So it can only operate on chocolate on the tile where the piece is, but you can upgrade one thing 4 times or one thing once and another one 3 times if you have multiple pieces of chocolate on the same.
Understood. Okay, so that's that piece, that factory part. We've got a bean into caramel or a nug into 2 caramels.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've got that. Yep.
And then a bean into a wrapped chocolate of your choice.
Perfect.
All right, B. See you later. Thanks for saying hi. It was good to see you in chat. All right. Next packet, Matthew, we've got, it is any refined chocolate into 2.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And then the last one is similar to another one, but it is the 3 upgrade.
Yep.
Okay. And you have first choice, my friend.
Do I? Okay, I have a weird... I'm missing some cards somehow. Because I don't think I... Could you hold up that last part again?
Yes.
Is it a... I think that's an A part. Sorry. Do you want to just flip over the card?
It is an A part. Are we should be on B?
Yeah, I think actually what might have happened is that there's actually 2 special parts. Also, there are also Kickstarter things.
Ah, okay. So this is a special.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
We'll discard that one then. Forget that one. So here, this will be in B now.
Yeah, perfect. The bean and the all right.
Yeah. Hi, Tom Posh.
Okay, I should work out what I'm doing. What am I doing?
We are just slightly over halfway through on this lovely game. We'll try to knock it out in 20 minutes so Matthew can go to sleep at a decent hour.
Oh, it's alright. I'm just trying to work out what am I doing? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take the one with the director of the
Okay.
Palace Boutique.
Okay. And
And
so then
I
this will
will
go.
take.
Which one will
And
you
I will
take on
take
this one?
the director. I will take the director.
Okay. Okay, so that one's going away. So these are my choices now. I've got the choice of the factory parts. Oh, goodness me. I like this 4. I like this 4 upgrade. So I'm going to take the packet of 3 parts, Matthew. So you'll take these 2. So out of these 2, Matthew, which one would you like?
I'll take the one that takes a refined chocolate to 2.
Okay. And which number space?
I will put it in number... Good question. I'll put it in number 8.
Okay. So here we go. This is Matthew's factory currently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, solo player. There we go.
Yes, there is a solo version with an opponent. It was done by David Digby, great solo design.
Oh, nice. So I'm going to take this 4 upgrade, and as far as my tech goes, okay, what do I have? Put, mechanic. Mechanic looks nice. Oh, but do I have... I can do this. Okay, I'm going to take the mechanic and try to see if I can get halfway through on that. All right, let's make chocolate, Matthew.
Let's chocolate.
Tom, if you were not in the conversation earlier, we were just mentioning that Board Game Arena has this available to play. So if you would like to play it multiplayer, friend, just let me know. I believe we are Board Game Arena friends, so please let me know. All right, I pushed this through. I'm actually going to turn this one into a coal here. I will upgrade this. So, my beans. So, essentially, Matthew, I could upgrade this nugget into a box chocolate. Is that correct? This nugget here?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, apologies. I remember you were saying that your headphones might conk out. So I'm like, Matthew, I have this really important question to ask you. Well, you're distracted.
Fine. Don't worry. It's just playing on hard mode, this is...
Exactly. Okay. Then I'm going to do the... Oh. See, I wish this was... I did not plan this efficiently, friends. That's okay. But you know what? I am enjoying the ride. Every time I play a game with someone, if they're like learning it or they haven't played it before, I always am in the mindset of wanting to play it for their pure enjoyment and not necessarily for me winning. Because that's what I feel like there's more benefit from it. If they have a good time playing it, and if they just happen to win, awesome.
I think that's a very, very good way to be. I concur.
Okay, so that's one shift. All right, so I will move my bean. Okay, discard my coal. Oh, yes. Tom agrees. He says if he's playing a game he knows well and the other players are new to it, I normally take the opportunity to try a completely different strategy. Oh, that's smart. That's very smart. That is very smart. So, okay. So then this one, I can do this for halvesies for my benefit. Aha! I like it. I like this mechanic here. Half the cost. So I can do this here. That is going to be 2 do you think about this? Okay.
I've got some good boxes going on there. Very nice.
Yes. I am playing this correctly, Matthew. I am. I swear. I am.
Yeah, I'm not watching everything. Yeah. During when I had to plug my headphones in, quickly switched all these boxes in. For...
Keep an eye on her,
Yeah,
chat.
exactly. Come on, chat. Where's the? You know.
What's going on? Keep me honest here. Okay. I'm turning in this one for 2. Okay, and my final shift. Turning these in. Don't want to do anything there. Then I will do this here. Hey, Herbs! Good to see you. Welcome. Herbs Gambit. All right. This is this here. So even though, Matthew, I have the mechanic for half the usual coal cost on a furnace, if it's still just a 1 cost, it would essentially still just cost 1.
I think so. I'm not sure whether it rounds it up or down.
It does say rounded up.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So yes, it'll still cost.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just to clarify that.
Oh, thanks very much, Evs, for saying it.
Yeah.
They say they love Chocolate Factory, one of their favorite wrestling games. Yeah, it's funny. It's I'm always sort of surprised. You get so used to games being released and sort of, you get a bit of initial buzz and a bit of play, but then they sort of. So I mean, Chocolate Factory. I think it fulfilled quite a while ago now. Probably at least a few years ago. I mean, it's been in distribution, and so it's always nice to hear people just pick it up now. You don't hear about your game. They kind of like disappear. And so it's always a nice thing to kind of like hear that.
Yeah, I acquired it in 2019, Matthew, and at Gen Con. So I want to say that was probably around the time that the Kickstarter was going on.
Yeah, that sounds or fulfilling, I guess. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But I can actually remember pitching the game in Gen Con 2014. Actually,
wow.
2014.
Crazy. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of a bummer. A lot of Alley Cat games don't make it over to retail in the States.
I know
just because they're such a small operation, Yeah. So I was really excited to actually grab this from their booth and things, and their team is just wonderful in general, and like I can chat with them on Discord and things like that, and be like, hey, like I backed for the pre-order of the emergency roll, which I believe you worked on. Dice Hospital.
Brett and I designed the emergency roll game.
Yeah, so back that one, as well as the community care expansion for Dice Hospital, because there's helicopters. Hello. 3D helicopters. I played the Dice Hospital original, and I bought the upgraded ambulances because, hello, it's just really awesome. I love components that are like tactile and like more real to life. Like I enjoy the chocolates here in this game. So having that with the community care, I think it's called community care, that has the helicopters in there. And I was like, yes, I need those upgrades. And then I believe I also did there was one more game that my mind is just blanking on, but I did like a kind of a bundle through Alley Cat, but I had to order it directly from their website. Because they don't have a lot of US distribution here. So, all right, Matthew, what chocolates did you fulfill? Are you still on the caramel train?
No, I have no caramel, actually. I have a single chunk that I'm going to put it towards the Palace Boutique, but because of my director, I will go 2 spaces instead of just 1.
Okay. Very nice.
I have some boxes chilling out for use tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay. So for myself, friends, I had the Fresh Fancies, which needs the chunks I do have one that I'm going to turn in, so I will move one space up on there, and I have a corner shop order that I can fulfill, so I will finally go over here, fulfill this small corner shop with my 1 caramel and box chocolate for £7, so I am finally past 5. Matthew is already almost at 50, friends, and I don't know. I am just floating around, enjoying the process of making chocolate.
Yeah, I think that's what you... I did get to go to a Cadbury chocolate when I was a child, actually, in Tasmania. It was quite fun. I remember getting lots of nice chocolate at the end.
Yeah, I went to the M&M's factory and got to see their process of making the M&M's candies.
Okay.
And they had in their gift shop, Matthew, they had a display of all the colors of M&M's that you could make.
Yeah.
And they gave you a bag and they're like, okay, mix all. So I got like gold and silver and purple and like all the like non-standard colors.
Yeah.
And they did not taste different. They all tasted the same, friends. So I know there's always that rumor that goes around that people are like, the blue ones actually taste different or whatever.
Oh, really?
So.
I see.
it's just a silly joke. Okay, so I have 3 new corner shop cards because I fulfilled one, so I drew one from every pile. And you know, I have a lot of bars and chunks that are going on here, so I think I'm just going to keep this small. I'll just keep it with the small shops in hand. And that is all that I have. Everything else is kept. I've got some leftover coal and a box. Matthew, you are good in your storage room, I'm assuming?
I am. I have 2 boxes chilling out there.
We are going into Friday, friends, so that is 9 pieces of coal for us to start with.
Unfortunately, it's still early 20th century, so we're 6-day working week here, not 5, so penultimate day.
Yes.
Pre-Ford Revolution or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Then I know that... So it's back to me for first player. Let's make our packets here. See, I had such a strategy going into this game, but I have just been so distracted by the lovely commentary we've had today that I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm going to reach 50 points, to be honest with you, Matthew.
I mean, I don't know how you managed to play. When I was streaming, I could barely function, speaking full sentences, let alone handle playing, a mildly strategic game. So I think you're winning in overall output, maybe not the game part, but
Thank you. I appreciate that. Exactly right, Tom. The real chocolate is the friends you make along the way. Exactly right.
You eat your friends? Is that
what it is? Oh, yes. Is Oh no, Tom. Yeah. Please don't eat your friends. Please don't eat your friends. All right, we're getting into some more interesting factory parts and things here. So first packet, Matthew, we have is the mechanic for Fresh Fancies.
Yep.
Next, we've got the helpers, the Kickstarter.
They do look like they could be helping by sending them to your opponent's factory and sort of messing up.
Helping is in quotes, probably.
Hello, what's all going on here? Sort of thing. Yeah.
And then the department store agent from Dunstan and Gilbert's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Next packet, we've got the miner from Palace Boutique. Not the expert, just the normal miner. The dealer from House of Luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the expert miner from Salters.
Very good.
All right. The real chocolate is the cavities you made. There we go, Tan.
Nice.
Gus. Oh, thank you, Gus. Gus has faith in me. It just so happens that we live in the same household, so I hope you would have faith in me. All right, so here's the factory parts.
Yep.
So we got two refines into all of this goodness.
But 4 coal, it's not cheap.
It is not cheap. No, it is not. Next part, Matthew, we've got is a cocoa bean into 2.
Yep.
And then finally is a cocoa bean into 2 boxes of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Tom, I just noticed this last night as well when I was playing the game, too. And Matthew was not egomaniac in terms of naming it Dunstan and Gilbert's. That was all Alley Cat's doing, so.
I mean, so I say.
So here's this one, the beans, got it. And then the next part is the bars into a whole bunch of caramel.
Yep, I got it.
All right, so it's me, first choice. Okay. I have to. Sorry, Matthew. I have to take the one that gives me a bunch of coal. Yes, I have a bunch of coal right now. But with all of these upgradings, I need to make sure I do this. So Matthew will get this other packet with these 3 possible employees.
Just a question. I haven't gone up on the fresh fancies, right?
Fresh fancies, I do not have you marked, no, sir.
No, but that's the one you're on like 5 on, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're in Palace, Boutique, Salters, and Dunstan and Gilbert's are your 3 markers so far.
Okay. Well, I have to take. Anyway, sorry, I have to take that one anyway. Well, I mean, it's hard to not do that, is it?
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'll take the ones with the 4 coal.
Aha! You're gonna get the fancy parts. All right. So, which factory part would you like?
I'm gonna take the bean to any 2.
Okay. And which number in your?
That is a question. Well.
You can always just cover your chute.
I know. The difficult thing is I need to get it out, which is tricky. Okay, I'm gonna go over the upgrading, the number 2.
Okay, so friends, for everyone to see, Matthew's going to cover it here and spot number 2. So here's his engine.
Error, but let's see.
You still have a choice. You can still move it.
No,
we haven't started yet.
That's fine. You make your decision, and I think I'll
okay. All right. So for mine, I am going to take the expert miner in Salter's Emporium because that gives me 4 coal right now. I am very, very coal-minded. Okay, and then as far as these 2 parts are concerned, good grief. I don't like either of these parts, Matthew. I don't like either of these parts. Yeah, it was a good move though. It was a good move on your part, I think. Oh, goodness. I need a lot of that type of chocolate. So, let's do this. I will take this one here and place it here.
But I've decided to move mine to number 1, actually. So
okay. Cover that over. Alrighty. And which employee would you like?
I chose the mechanic.
Okay. So, he's going to do half his coal costs, which I think is very wise because we are going through coal very fast. Okay, get your cocoa beans ready, and let's chocolate.
Let's chocolate.
Any way you can do this. So yes, friends, if anybody wants to play this game with me in real life or on Board Game Arena, I would love to play this with you all. And I hope you all are enjoying watching Matthew and I talk food and tea
Yes.
and try to play a board game at the
All
same
at the
time.
same time. Yes.
But now I have to pay the full cost of these things. Bummer summer. Bummer summer. All right. So I am going to upgrade this to this. And that one is going to be cost of 1 to make this into a bar of chocolate. Oh no, chunks. I'm going to make this into chunks. There we go. And then, oh gosh, I'm having regrets again. I'm having regrets again. Okay. That is okay. Sometimes your engine just doesn't run as efficiently as you would like it to. I'm glad I don't work in a manufacturing plant. So that's my first shift there. All right, all of these chocolates go over here. Oh, goodness me. Okay. Then the next one I've got. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Matthew, on the upgrade to 4, you must fulfill the whole 4, right? I can't just upgrade this once, correct?
I think each part is optional. I'm pretty sure you could stop at 3 if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I would do it, I think.
How would... you heard it first here, friends.
Oh,
The designer says it's fine. Okay.
Everything's going to be fine.
Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. Okay. I would like to make these into... Okay, so I will do that to make this into... I need some yellow chocolate here. Caramel. Okay. Oh, I should not do that. I should do that for this here. And then for 3, I will do this and make this into 4 chocolates. There we go. There we go. Okay. Again, friends, if you are interested in looking at the repertoire that is Matthew Dunstan's game designs, I will put in the chat his BGG page, and you can see all the fun stuff on there. Matthew, have you ever considered going back to streaming, or is there just too much on your plate to think about?
I might go back. Actually, thinking about now that I have this. It's so funny. I was always very low tech. I'm gonna spend as little money as possible. Blah,
yes.
Blah, blah. So I never had proper microphone and webcam or anything. It just turns out because my webcam and my computer broke and I had to buy things, and now I have this thing. I'm and a nice microphone. It's maybe I should try it again. Yeah, I guess for me it was finding a time and also a format. I guess I quite like chatting with folk, but
yes,
but at the same time you have to have a bit of structure, I think, and I think it was just that pressure of coming up with a new. I kind of wanted to do it. I wanted it to be a good resource for people who wanted to learn about game design.
Right.
But that requires some preparation, or at least, I hoped it to be prepared. But anyway, we'll see. In short, it would be nice, but I have to find a way to fit it in, maybe.
Okay. Well, I think it would be wonderful to see you again, because I do think that it was very awesome to have the your chats on there too, and the Q&As, because I think there's not a lot of platforms outside of reading a blog or something, right? But to get some real life feedback from people, I think was really valuable. So I enjoyed watching your streams.
Oh, thank you, Jess. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really kind of you to say. No, I think if I was a bit more, I'd love to do more interviews with other designers and especially developers who I think are sort of even less sort of talked about. So yeah, I think that would be that could be yeah. If I just said I like chatting, so maybe that should be what I should go back to doing. But I know that's a lot of work. I mean, as you had to wrangle me, Jess, so I'm not sure how how I kind of stand in the list of diva guests to have to deal with.
Oh my gosh, you are not a diva at all, Matthew. You are more than welcome to come back, and even if it's just a chatting stream on my Mondays, I usually do like board game adjacent stuff where I'm like either playing a digital game, or like this Monday I was actually like painting a jack-o'-lantern that had a meeple
cool.
on it. So I was like, it's board game related, but everybody was just basically hanging out in the chat and watching me paint. So
sounds good.
there's more than enough space to just have you come by. And if you ever are just like, I would like to like talk about my upcoming game or whatever, please, the door is open. The door is open.
My latest batch of mustard or
yes. And even if it's like a cooking stream, like cooking with Matthew, like that would be wonderful. So yes, the door is open, my friend.
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
Okay. I am done with my shift.
I am also done.
What did you make chocolate, Matthew?
I did make some chocolate. Not so much. It was a smaller. So I'm gonna finish my last stage of my large order.
Okay.
Which will give me £20.
Very nice. So currently, just to double check, Matthew, you still have a medium and small corner shop open.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you said 20. So trying to do
18,
math.
I think.
10, 18, and a 50.
Thank you very much.
Goes
I'll
to
take
you.
the virtual coin. We should have done something where you pass it one.
Oh wait. We can't. Do you have it with you?
Hold on. So the folks that didn't know that I hadn't punched my version. So let me punch. Okay, which way are we going from?
Here we go. So I'll go towards my face, so towards my selfie cam, and you'll just grab it from your selfie cam.
Oh yes, I see. Okay.
So here we go.
Oh.
Wow. Yay! There you go, my friend. 50.
That's what they do in Willy Wonka. They can transmit physical objects through.
Amazing!
So
Amazing! Oh,
so we're just eating some Mike TV or something now.
There we go. Amazing.
Yeah. And I will spend one chunky chocolate to go one space up on the Fresh Fancies.
Fresh Fancies. There we are. Yeah, that was streaming magic, friends. Streaming magic. Okay.
Yeah, Tad, you did a great. Tad's just been talking about echoes, and you did a great stream of that. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, he has spoken highly of you as well. He was actually really excited that I was going to have you on stream today. So I'm glad you're sticking around, Tan, because I know it's late for you, my friend. Over across the pond, that is the giant Atlantic Ocean. Okay, yes. What am I doing with myself? So I have Salter's Emporium, which needs yellow, and I have, Matthew, 4 of them in my storage room. So
you definitely had them on your storage room. Definitely didn't just take them from the store.
I did not. I definitely did not just grab them from the supply.
I saw a cut. There wasn't a continuous, like.
There was no jump.
No video evidence. Yeah.
There was no jump scenes. Exactly right. And then, unfortunately, that's all I can do. So I actually have to burn some of my lovely boxes of chocolate.
Well, you can turn them into coal at least.
I can turn them into coal, but it's such a it just.
I mean, it's like you're just standing outside the door of the factory, and the workers are inside, just seeing you, like just throwing them in the trash. They're just piling out and.
Such a heartbreak. I know. Okay, Michelle has been lurking. Hi, Michelle. I know you're working, but thank you for being here. So I will burn these 3. For 3 coal. It pains me so, but that's okay. And I didn't do anything with my corner shop, so we are discarding our employees, and we are in the final stages, friends.
I need one more corner shop, I'm afraid, because I finished one.
So you do? I apologize. So here we go, Matthew. Right. Thank you for keeping me honest.
It's all right.
All
Well,
right.
when I can, I try.
All right. We've got 2 boxes for the small corner shop.
Yep.
We've got 2 caramels and 2 boxes on the medium.
Tempting. Yep, I've got that. Thanks.
And then the large one is kind of a combination here, Matthew. So we've got chunks, bars, caramel.
Whole mix of things. Okay, I am going to take... I'll take the medium one.
Okay, so the one with the caramels in the boxes. Okay.
And the boxes.
Okay, so these are good discarded. Alrighty.
And we're 10 coal for this round.
We are 10 coal. This is Saturday. So, friends, just to reiterate, at the end of this round, when we finish all of our shifts and everything, anything chocolate-wise in our storage rooms as well as on our conveyor belts can be used to fulfill orders. So, it does not matter that they aren't exiting the factory. They can still be utilized for this. And now, Matthew is going to be our star player here. The final packets are going to be set.
What's it gonna be?
So I just did a purchase yesterday, Matthew, for Halloween time here in the States. We're not sure if we're going to have any kiddos come to trick or treat. But we needed to make sure we were prepared. So we have done the necessary of buying chocolate, but buying chocolates that we enjoy eating. For the sake of, if there aren't children, browsing around collecting candy on Halloween night, it's
perfectly
not like
reasonable.
The candies I thought it was a reasonable choice. So it's just, you have to, you take one for the children, right? You take one for the children.
Well, in this case, literally from the children. But...
Yeah, exactly. If you don't show up at my doorstep, I'm sorry that you won't get some of this delicious chocolate. Okay, Matthew, here we go. Packet number 1, we have the operator, the expert, Seltzers, and the one from the Palace Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the department store agent from Dunstan.
Yep.
Okay. Next packet, we've got the Prodigy.
Yep.
The director from House of Luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And the clerk from Fresh Fancies.
Yep.
Okay. Factory parts. We have got a bean into wrapped chocolate or 2 beans into boxes.
Yep.
Okay. Next is either bars or chunks into 2 chocolate boxes.
Yep.
And finally, a bean into chunks and caramel.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next packet we have got is the triplicate. The triplicate, where you can make 3 of one type of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And the bean into either chunks or bars.
Great.
All right, and you get first choice.
I do. I'm going to take the... I haven't gone up on House of Luxury, right? That's the only one I haven't gone up on.
House of Luxury, you are correct.
Yep, so I will take the one with the director from the House of Luxury.
All right, and that's the employee,
that's the
I'm assuming? Okay. Yes. All right. House of Luxury. You see what he's doing, friends? He is going for the one of each department store bonus. I see what you're doing there, Matthew.
Hi, Legends DM. I think it's Legends DM. If I remember.
Oh, hey, Legends. How's it going? Legends, do you own Chocolate Factory? I have a feeling that you might. Your gaming collection is quite large, my friend. So I am yellow. So I have not gone up on Palace Boutique. So I am going to take the operator. I see what you're playing at, Matthew. So I am trying to keep up here. Trying to keep up here. Oh, good grief. Good grief. So they need multiples of the same type of chocolate. So that is very nice. which packet do I want to take? Ah, I'm going to take the packet of 2, Matthew.
Okay.
The packet of 2 here, and oh, good grief, where am I putting this? I will actually put it here, I believe. Yes, I will do that. So, Matthew, you have the choice of these.
Yeah. I'll take the one with that takes the middle one and those.
Okay. With all the boxes and things like that. All right.
And I'm gonna
which number?
On. That's a good question, actually. Yeah, I'll put it on number 5.
Okay. So just to show everyone here, this is Matthew's engine. So we are covering up this spot here, Matthew.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's a very good idea, but oh gosh. I don't know. No, I'll stick it on number 4. Actually,
okay, up here. All right.
All right. Let's chocolate.
Let's chocolate. So, Legends, you don't own this game. I highly recommend getting yourself a copy, or in the meantime, playing it on Board Game Arena. Okay, pushing these through. Now, what do I need? A Palace Boutique needs similar types of chocolate. Okay. And Matthew, thank you so much for hanging out and past your allotted time slot.
Oh no, pleasure.
I have enjoyed.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't enjoy it. Don't worry.
You would be like, "Oh wait, someone's calling me."
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I have a family emergency, even though it's 4 a.m. in Australia right now.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you hanging out though. This has been wonderful. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to choices.
Choices indeed.
Oh, no regrets though, Matthew. No regrets.
No.
Okay, then we're doing this here. 1, 2, 3. Making this into 3 of them. Oh, Tan, do you have to go? I'm sorry. We are keeping you awake if you really have to go, Tan. I hope you have a good evening if you do.
Thanks for dropping by, Tan. Thanks.
Yeah. I need to... I don't have enough coal. Oh, Matthew, this is painful. This last day, I can move... Oh, I could use your chocolate abilities, Jess. Use your chocolate abilities. So I'm going to move one here as my special. Then I'm going to do these twice. So these go up twice. 2 and 2. So technically, Matthew, I could do these 2 nuggets into 2 wrapped chocolates, correct? On my
yes.
upgrader with the 4 steps?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad you don't have to go, Tan. I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I have not said that enough. I appreciate you all being here. It has been such a joy because honestly, Matthew, this is only my third week of doing this new time slot. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I am super thankful for everybody that's just been hanging out and traveling along this journey with me. It has been quite fun.
No, that's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have enough coal. All right, I'm gonna have to do the thing. Yes, but I think you do like board games, Legends. I am actually being somewhat serious when I say your collection is quite large, my friend. And there is nothing wrong with having a large gaming collection. Nothing wrong at all. Okay, so I'm doing this, converting this into nugget. And then... Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because that's not going to help me. I'm actually going to do this over here with this one to make this into a nugget, because on my third activation, I will be able to do a lot of things. So here we go. Final shift. Final shift. Here. Okay. Let's see.
So much coal.
Let's see. And with my final piece of coal, I will make them into all of these things here. Ooh. Okay. Done, I believe. Yes, I believe I am done. All right, Matthew, did you make chocolate?
I did make chocolate. So I have finished enough to finish all of my orders, which gives me a total of £29.
All of your corner shops, huh?
Yep.
Wow. So we got all of these friends. So he's got 10, 15, 20.
Oh, I'd already done the bottom section of the £2 one, so...
Oh, okay, so just the 8. Okay, so...
Yeah.
These 10, 18, 29, like you said.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
And then I will spend...
20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
And I'll spend 2 boxes on the... but I have the director, which doubles it, so I go to space 4 on the House of Luxury.
Oh, nicely done. Nice final round for you, Matthew.
Yes, it all worked out quite nicely.
Okay, so for myself, friends, my corner shops... Okay, I'm going to go back so you can see what my corner shops are. This one here, I can turn in 2 for £5, and then another 3 for 10. So I can finish this large one for a total of £15. Yay!
Woohoo.
10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so that corner shop is complete. Then I also have the Palace Boutique, which wants multiples of refined chocolate. So I have a set of 3, or 4 actually, which means I could move that many spaces on that department store, Matthew?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They have to be matching, and you do that many spaces, yeah.
Okay, so I do matching with 4 here. And I did not pull these from the supply, friends. Again, I just have all this caramel that I produce.
It's always 4 caramel. It's always 4 caramel.
It's always 4.
You don't even try and hide the cheating.
I don't. I mean, if I'm the host, right? It's
yeah, that's true. That's true. The house always has the advantage, right?
The house always has the advantage. Okay, so then this is what I have remaining, which will just give me points in that sense there. So we are into final scoring, friends. So Matthew, how many? So I believe we score first the number of corner shops, correct?
Yep, I had 5 completed.
So Matthew, of course, had more corner shops. I only completed 2. So Matthew, you will get 12 extra points here. So 10, 11, 12. Wait, I have another 50 for you.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Get all the way through.
Oh my goodness. It's through the magic of the internet.
Yeah, through the magic of the internet.
Okay. All right. Then we're going through our department store. So first, Palace Boutique. Matthew, you're on the 2. I am on the 4 spot. So I will receive £16, and Matthew will receive 8 because he is at least halfway along the track. So I will get
Compared to,
16. Very nice. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Matthew will get 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. Then we're on the fresh fancies. Matthew is on the 1. I am on the 5. So unfortunately, he does not get second place.
Yeah.
But I get first there. So another 16 for me. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I get... Wow, I made it to the 50, friends. I did it. I did it. Okay. Next on Salters, I am on the 4. Matthew is on the 1. So again, unfortunately, no second place for him. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Next, we have the House of Luxury. Matthew is on 4. I am on the 1. So he gets 16 and I get 0. That's a nice catch-up mechanic for sure. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And finally, the Dunstan and Gilberts. He has 1, I have 0. So you again get 16, Matthew.
I mean, my cousin was always going to give me the best prize, I'm sure. Dunstan Gilberts.
There we go. All right, so that is the department store. Now we do the majority. So Matthew has 5 different, he was able to fulfill orders at all 5, so he gets an additional 24 points here. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here it comes, Matthew. Another 50 cents for you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Never gets old. Never gets old.
I have 4, so I get 12 here. 10, 11, 12. So that is the majority on those. And then, Matthew, I believe it is the
Just leftover stuff.
Remaining stuff. So every coal and chocolate that you get will earn you a point. So I have 3 pieces left over. So 1, 2, 3. Matthew?
And I have 2.
2. 1, 2. And there we are, friends. The winner of the game is with the most money. I have to say, I believe Matthew is the winner here.
Well, we don't know. I mean, you could just... I would just pocket a few more coins right now off camera. We wouldn't know, you know.
We never know. Oh, did you see all these other coins that just magically...
That's actually my score pile. You know, I was just tracking something. That's actually the supply on the table.
That's actually, I just started off.
I scored 400 points, you know. That's
400 points. There's not even that enough on the scoreboard. There's not even enough coins to have
Masterful display.
So 85 versus 174. I say that is quite the victory there, Matthew. Congratulations. GG, my friend.
Well, thank you. I have had probably a bit more practice.
And I will take my defeat to one of the co-designers of this game any day. It's totally fine.
Well, also I wasn't running a stream at the same time, so I think you should get at least an extra 100 points for that.
Well, thank you. This has been quite amazing. Friends, stick around. I am still going to be playing some Can't Stop Express here, but for now, Matthew, what do you have coming up? I know you have a few games on Kickstarter.
So yes, Vivid Memories, which was on Kickstarter previously, should be being delivered to backers soon from Floodgate Games. Although, of course, as we all know, shipping, etc. You know, so
yes,
who knows? Basically, the Echo games are out. They're hitting more general distribution, certainly in North America and in Europe generally. So so check those out if you get a chance. And I think that's actually, unless I'm forgetting. Oh, and the Gardens, I hope which was also on Kickstarter, hopefully will fulfill, but I think that'll be more next year. And there will be more news to come, but as always, have to wait till publishers make their own announcements.
Give their go-aheads.
There will be more stuff from me next year, don't worry. So,
yeah, or if you come on the stream, you know, and we just happen to start talking about games and mustard and, this reminds me.
In a mustard-fueled haze, I'll just divulge all my secrets. So
Oh, well, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you, Matthew, so much for joining me on stream. Please give him a follow, friends, if you're not following him on Twitter. I'm sure he'll have updates and stuff too. Or you can check out the BGG page that I have posted the link for, so you all can check out his game designs and get information that way. But yeah, this was wonderful, Matthew. Thank you again for
No,
joining
thank
me
you, Jess.
today.
It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I'd love to come back on and chat all things food sometime.
Awesome. That
Look
would be
forward to it.
great. All right, friends, stick around. Don't go anywhere. I am going to get my player sheets, and we'll be playing some Can't Stop Express in just a moment. So stay tuned. Alrighty, friends, thanks for hanging out. We are going to be playing some Can't Stop Express here. It is our tournament that we are going through for playing. We have today is our last Wednesday that we're going to be able to play this. So whoever has the final score, the top score, will receive a bag of swag from me and the Chicks King Game crew. Currently, our standings are as follows. Let me move up this so you can kind of see a little bit better. Gus is in the lead with positive 220. Panda in second place with minus 240. And Tan is pulling in third with minus 360. For those that have not played, this game is all about creating some pairs of dice as well as having a fifth die available to you to mark off, because once you reach the line of a fifth die that is claimed, your game is over. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rolling these 5 dice. We're going to be taking these 5 dice and putting them into pairs. So 2 groups of 2 and then a fifth die remaining. From there, we will do the following things. First, we will be adding together pairs of dice. So I could do a 2 and a 6 together to make an 8 and cross off an 8 here. Same thing with this. I could mark off an 8 here, and then my fifth die value will be a 2. No worries, Tan. Have a good sleep, my friend. I know it is late from you, but I appreciate you, and I will let you know if you are successful. Oh, you're in third place, so it will have to reset everything for next month, Tan. Be ready for next month, so have a good sleep. Okay, so in that case, we are going to be doing this here. So we are marking off the sum value. So 2 plus 6 is 8. So here on the 8 row, we will mark off the 2 boxes here and then put a number 2 here in the fifth die value and put an X there. Now, every future turn, we have the ability to sum total the pairs of dice together and take our fifth die value, marking it off here. We have the option of 3 different fifth die values. We can only choose them based upon what is actually rolled on the dice. So I can't write a 3, 4, or 5 here because they are not visible on the dice spaces, okay? So we will keep rolling dice until one of these rows for each of us will end, filled up check boxes there, and we will total up our scores. For every row that you start with a sum value here, on the left-hand side of the column, you will receive negative 200 points for starting a row, negative 200 points. However, if you're able to mark off enough boxes to reach this center column here, you will get 0 points for that row. And then everything from 5 boxes higher than 5, so 6 through 10, you will get that number of boxes on this side of column C multiplied by the value in column A. So for example, the odds of getting a sum of 2, which is 2 ones here. So if we got what we call snake eyes, if we are able to get the sum of 2 and mark it all the way on to the positive side over here, we would get 100 points for every marked box on this side of column C. Okay, so if you start a row, it's just minus 200. It doesn't multiply on this side of the column. It only multiplies when you cross over this threshold and get to this positive side here. Now we are going to be playing, usually turns, I give them every 30 seconds, but for this first case, friends, I will just roll and have you see what I'm going to be doing on my scores, on my score sheet, and then you can kind of see from there what to do in terms of how to take your turn. For those that have not played this, if you just want to watch and follow along and join in next week for the new tournament, that is totally fine as well. So here we go, friends, and I won't start the timer until the second roll of the dice. And I also won't start the timer until I place the dice here on the board. So my hand will be out of the way, a little bit less distracting for you all. Okay, so here's my first roll set of die numbers for everyone. We have 5, 3, 5, 1, and 6. So I will take these try to create 2 pairings, some values, and then have something left over for the 5th die value. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 5 plus 5, which is 10. So I'll mark it here on the row with the 10. And then I will do a 3 plus 6, which is 9. Mark it here on the 9, which leaves me a 1 remainder as my 5th die value. And then I will mark that there. So essentially every round you will be marking 3 X's somewhere. However, there could be a possibility where where a 5th die value that you marked on this side does not come up. Let's say my other die values I have are 2 and 4. So in this example, there are no 2s and 4s here. So I would utilize the 5 dice to make my pairings and don't need to mark off something on this side here. Okay? So that could be a possibility. But if there are 5th die values that you have over here that are visible, you must take that as a 5th die. Okay? So that is my round 1. We'll go into round 2. Roll them up here. That was a 4, 3, 4. Okay. We've got 5, 3, 4, 3, and 5. So the timer, I will reset it 30 seconds. We'll start now. Oh, good grief. Okay, so I want to keep going here. So I know I'm going to take a 5 and a 4 to make a 9. Now I can either take a 6 or an 8 and utilize the 3. I think I will take an 8. So I'll use this. So I'll do the 4 and the 5 to make a 9, 5 and 3 to make the 8. And then with my leftover 3, I will mark it over here. And that is time. All right, reset the clock. Roll them up. And away we go. We've got 5, a 4, a 6, a 2, and a 3. All right, timer will start now. Okay, so I got a 10. I also have an 8. So do I leave 2 as my 5th die? Possibly. Okay, so I will do that. I'll do the 4 and the 6 to make a 10. And then a 5 and a 3 to make an 8. And then 2 will be over here. So now I have solidified my 3 values for a 5th die. All right. And that is time. Let's reset and roll them up. Okay, we've got a 1, another 1, another 1, oh my goodness, a 4, and a 6. Okay, 1, 1, 4, and 6. Timer starts now. Okay, so I do have to take a 1 because it is one of my 5th die values. So I've had 10 and 2, or I can do 5 and 7. Why not? Let's live dangerously. I'll do 10 and 2. So I'll do 10 here and take a 2. There we go. Thank you all for hanging out and sticking around for this stream. Let me know in the chat if you are playing along or if you're just lurking. Like to see who I'm up against. Yeah, Gus says interesting strategy with 1, 2, and 3. Curious to see how this will go. I know. It might be good. It might not be so good. All right, so I've got a 4, a 1, a 5, a 6, and another 6. Totally fine, J Fool's Guard. I appreciate you hanging out. Lurking is always welcome. All right, so I have to take the 1 because, again, friends, 2 and 3 are not available to me. So that is bummer summer. So I can do a 9 and a 12, or I can do an 11 and a 10. But I have one extreme over here. So I think I'm going to do an 11 and 10. So I will do a 10 and the 11. And that is time. Okay. Roll them up here. All right, we've got a 6, a 3, a 2, another 6, and a 4. Okay, here goes the timer. Ooh, not fun, not fun. All right, 10. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2. 6 and 4 make 10. 6 and 3 make 9. All right, so I've made it to this middle road on my 10s. So I have 0 points now for there. I don't have any negatives, which is awesome. Awesome sauce. All right, timer is up, friends. Whoo! Whoo, good grief. Oh, good grief. Okay, we've got a 3. Oh, and another 3. Oh, and another 3. A 5 and a 2. Okay, lots of 3s, a 5 and a 2. Timer starts now. All right, so let's do, good grief, good grief. 8. 8 and 6 and take a 2, or 8 and 5 and take a 3. I think I'm going to take the 3 and do 8 and 5. I don't like starting new rows, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. Whew. Rough. This one's rough for sure. All right. Here we go. Next roll of the dice. A 6. That was a 1, friends. I accidentally bumped it. A 1, a 5, another 5, and a 6. Timer starts now. Well, this is unfortunate. I have to take the 1, friends. Okay, and I've got 11. Oh, I got 2 11s. There we go. So I'll do 6 and 5, 6 and 5, making 2 11s. That's okay with me. Okay with me. Whew, getting the timer. So, J Fool's Guard, the game will end once each player crosses the threshold on one line of their 5th die row. So right now, I am halfway done on my 1s. If I don't have any more spaces for my 1s here, then my game will end. So theoretically, players will keep playing until one of their 5th die rows gets filled to completion. And I think Tan has mathed it out so that there's roughly about 20 rolls of the dice that happen, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my goodness, friends, we got a Yahtzee. We got a Yahtzee here. All right, so we got all 4s. All 4s. So in this case, friends, since none of these are my 5th die value, I don't have to mark anything on this side. I just take some pairings. So in this case, I will take 2 8s, which is amazing. That works out swimmingly for me. So yeah, there we go. 2 8s there. Perfect, perfect. And time. All right, let's see. Can I do that again? That would be helpful. Okay. 5, 4, 6, 1, and another 6. Okay. Timer starts now. Okay, so I have to take the 1 again because that's the only thing that's available to me for my 5th die values. Boo earns. But I will do a 10 and an 11 with the other values there. So now I am in the right-hand side of the column C for my row of 10. So for every box, I will get 60 positive points in that sense. So 60 positive points. Okay, time. This game might actually go faster than I anticipated if I keep rolling the same values and not so many of the 5th dice that I need. So we've got a 6, a 4, a 5, a 1, and a 2. Oh, goodness. Okay, that's all right. I can take that, friends. Timer starts now. So I'll definitely want to take the 2, I think, to keep that going. So I will have 11 and 5. Yeah, I will do an 11 and a 5 there. Trying to keep a nice even balance, although the ones keep getting rolled, that's problematic for me. It'll definitely ramp up the my end game for sure. All right. Timer is up. Let's roll them up here. And friends, while you're hanging out, keep in mind we are going to be sending over you all on a raid train to another gaming stream. So see who is online and throw your suggestions in the chat. Yeah, I appreciate it, Jay Foolsguard. Originally, I was playing Crisscross by Reiner Knizia with the chat, and that was another tournament game. But I thought I'd switch it up, and Gus actually suggested this game for me to be able to interact with the chat. It's fairly straightforward. All you need really is just a piece of paper. You can do some tally marks. You don't need this fancy player sheet because you can see what the scores are and point values and things based on my player sheet. So yeah, I thought it was an easy way to kind of wind down the stream and have folks be able to interact with me on a weekly basis. So here's our new set of dice. 5, 2, 2, 4, and another 2. Timer will start now. Okay, so I do have to take a 2 again. Boo earns. But I could take a 9 and a 4, or I could do 6 and 7. Ah, that's 2 of them. No. 9. It has to be 9 and 4, because I already started with a 9 and a 4. I don't want to start 2 new rows, so I did that. Yeah, 9 and 4. Oh, good grief. Good grief. Okay. Here we are. Timer is up. Let's roll. All right. We've got a 3, a 1, 6, another 6, and another 3. Okay. Ooh, 30 seconds on the clock. Let's do this. Okay. Well, okay, I could do a 9s. I could do some 9s and take the 1. It'll give me over in the positives, which will do that. Or I can do a 9 and 7. I don't want to start a new one. So, okay, I'm taking the 9s. My 5th die will be the 1, so I'll do 6 and 3 is 9. And the other 6 and 3 is 9 over here. Okay. Getting down to it. Getting down to it. Whew. Okay. Only a couple more boxes on my 1s that I can do. This might have not have been a good idea to do 1, 2, and 3 as my 5th dice. But that's the way it is, I guess. All right. 5. 1, 1, 2, and 2. Okie doke. Here we go. Okay, so if I do 2 and 2 is 4, and I can do, oh, I can't do that unless I take a 1. Sevens, 6 or 7. I have to mark a 6 or 7. Okay. So let's do the 2s. So 1 and 1 will make 2. I will take a 2 as my die value, and then 5 and 2 will make 7, starting a new row. Not ideal. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Okay, here we go. 4, 3, 5, 6, and 1. Oh, that's a nice dispersion of numbers. I like this one. Okay. Ooh, so I can do a 3, take an 11 and a 5. Let's do that. So we'll do a 3 here. 5 and 6 is 11. 4 and 1 is 5. Okay. So I've made it into the positives on a few. I still would like to get into the neutral zone, if possible, on some of the others. We shall see. We shall see, my friends. Okay, let's roll them up. All right, 6, 2, another 6, another 2, and a 1. Okay. Here we go with the timer. Ah, good grief. I took it 8s. I could do 8s and take the 1. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Taking the 8s, so I'm on the positive side. Whew. But I need some more 2s and 3s. 2s and 3s would be helpful. Friends, 2s and 3s. Send all the good vibes to the dice for 2s and 3s. Ready? Okay. Timer is up. Let's roll. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. We've got a couple 1s, a 6, a 3, and a 2. Okay. Woo! We got one of them, at least. All right. So, I can take I'll take the 2 1s to mark it as a 2, the 6 and 2 to make it an 8, and I will take this 3 as my 5th die. Ah, very nice. Yes, not too bad. You are correct. Not too bad. There. Oh, but my game is slowly coming to a close, I feel like. Slowly coming to a close. All right. Here we go, friends. We've got a 1, a 4, a 6, a 6, and a 5. Oh, this is going to be it for me, friends. This is my final roll. So I do have to take the 1 as my 5th die. That's okay. But I'll get 10 and 11 as my 2 die values for my pairings here. And Gus, are you still playing, or is anyone else still playing? Because I can still keep rolling if you want me to, friends. Still keep rolling if you want me to. Yeah, we are getting close. All right. All right, Gus is just lurking today. I know Jay Foolsguard is just lurking today. If anyone else in the chat is still playing, let me know. I will be more than happy to keep rolling the dice. But for now, let's score them up here. So on the 2 row, I did not make it to the center line, so that's minus 200 for me. The 3s, I did not start, so I don't get any score there. The 4s, I did, so that's minus 200. The 5s, same thing, did not cross over. 6, I did not start. 7s, I did start. Ooh, this is going to be rough, friends. The 8s, I got 1, 2, 3 boxes. So 3 times 40 is 120 on positives. The 9s, I got 1 over here. That's 50 points there. The 10s, I got 2 boxes, 60 points each for those. So that's another 120. 7s, I got 2 boxes for positive 140, and the 12s I did not start. So there we go. I do not J Fool's Guard, so because I ended here, it only ends your game when one of your 5th die values gets checked fully, not the whole grid. Yeah, so it's just one of them. But good question. Good question. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I've got minus 800 plus positive 170, 270, 290, 390, 430, 430, I think. Let's see. 390, 430. Yes. So doing the math, that's 70. That is 3 minus 370 is my final. Yeah, it is kind of confusing, J Fool's Guard, but it is actually just one of the rows of your 5th dice. Yeah, just one of your rows. So not the whole grid. Yep. All right, so I did not reach any of the values here. So it looks like Gus is our winner. And since Gus already has a bag of swag, Gus, what would you like to do with your bag of swag? I could have you randomly choose someone in the chat. You could do that. Congratulations to you, my friend, for being the winner of this tournament this month. And you can award it to either of the podium standings. I don't believe either of them have a bag of swag. So if you would like to gift your bag of swag to Panda or Tan, let me know. So, yeah. Panda, okie doke. So congratulations to Panda Angel. You are the recipient of the Crisscross Bag of Swag. I believe she is probably lunch lurking right now, so I will make sure to give her a ping. So thank you, Gus, for that. And thanks to everybody that was hanging out with me today. It was quite a pleasure to see all of you lovely faces here in chat, hanging out with me. Let's see. Oh, we got Raina's playing Little Nightmares. Heart Board Games is currently online. Let's see. Yeah, let's go over to Raina's channel. She is quite a delight. She often does video games and board game streams. And she was earlier here in the chat, hanging out with us. So yeah, I'm glad you were here, J Fool's Guard. It was nice to have you in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had a good time. So here we are, friends. We are going to go over to Raina's channel. She's playing Little Nightmares. It is a fun, kind of spooky video game that you can play on Steam. So yeah, stay tuned for more exciting content coming from me next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing on Monday, usually some board game adjacent stuff. So stick around for that. Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central European time. Wednesdays on Welcome Wednesdays, I usually do a full playthrough of some type of gaming. But until then, stay safe, enjoy your games, and I will see you all next time. Bye, folks.